Okay, I think we are live. To the music. Okay. Yep, I think we're live. Hey everyone. Say hi in the chat, say okay, you can hear me. Okay, thank you. Then it's all working. How's everyone? Just getting a few things here. I think we have a webcam now. Okay. Yep. Look at that. That's me, my ugly face. How's the sound? Can you hear me fine? Yep, we're live. Hey, Mr. Fun. Hey, Sleepy. Zarinthal, the legend. DJX. Molnifile. Zero. Sihon. Justin Bird. Sigurd Mortimer. Welcome, everyone. Okay. Getting things here. Okay. We have a little dog here. You'll probably hear some noises. There's an echo. Oh, of course I can move. Oh, wait. Weird. I don't have YouTube open. Maybe I have some other echo. Yeah. Auto check is good. Is there an echo? I only have one source here. Oh, echo. Okay. That was on your end. No problem. Okay then. Here we are. It's welcome everyone. This is my 9th devlog. Yes, it is, right? I think it is. Let's give it some time for everyone to hop in. Not sure how. There was, I think, 42 people waiting just a moment ago, which is really, that's a lot of people. It was actually a short. I just decided to do a live, actually. So yeah, 28 people. Okay. The music a little loud. Okay, maybe I talk a little. Wait. Let me just. Yeah, the music might be a little loud. My voice is pretty low actually, so okay, that's. I think we do that. We can do that. So what I decided was to just say how launch has been going for me, for the game, and how things are going lately. That's perfect. Okay, cool. Lots of chatting. I'll just, I figured I just show some numbers of the launch, how it is going, what I've been doing. You probably noticed I launched 4 updates since the game launch. And I'm still correcting a few bugs here and there, and you can see here I have on the 2.05 version already. And if you are following our Discord, or if you are you checked our forum, Steam forums, you'll see that there is a couple of changes for 2.05. I'm not going to talk much about it because, well, it's not that much, but I'm here mostly talk about launch and answer your questions. And maybe later we'll have a few people hop in the Discord, so we can talk with everyone. Well, everyone in the Discord, mostly my collaborators and moderators, and you know. So first, I have some numbers. People asked a lot of how things went in launch, and overall, I am very happy with how it goes, how it went. The launch went actually over what I was expecting. The game sold pretty well. I mean, since I think it was 2 weeks before launch actually started, Splattercat made a video, and the sales already started to rise even before launch, which was awesome. And then when launch actually occurred, the game sold a lot more than I actually expected. Not that I didn't believe in the game, because I obviously I do, but you never know. I like to expect not that much from things, because if it doesn't go as planned, you kind of get disappointed. So I actually, I try to keep the foot on the ground. So, but yeah, the game sold very much. Of course, for a single dev, it's great. If I was a big company with lots of people, it will be different. But for me, as I'm a single dev, it went very cool, very good. And music is nice now. Okay, cool, thanks. Yeah, it was a bit high here as well. And this is the music here is it's a copyright free, so don't worry about it. Some people were telling me. So the numbers. One thing that was pretty cool about launch, and it still is up to today, is that my wish list is keep increasing. And usually when you sell a bunch of copies and you sell, when I do sales or when the game sells a lot, the wish list tends to diminish because more people are buying than adding to wish list. So but when the game launched, we had 22,000 wish lists, meaning 22 people waiting to buy the game on sale, or when they get money. So but after launch, 1 month after launch, we had actually 3 times as many wish lists, so 67,000 wish lists, meaning the game sold. I'll get to that real soon, but the game sold a lot, and even still the wish list increased. And this is amazing because the game got a lot of attention, and I didn't actually lose wish lists. So this is great for the upcoming when they have sales or promotions. And the game actually sold a week before launch, around a week before launch to 1 month later, a little more than a 1 month period of time. The game sold 20k wish lists, and wish list 20k copies, and 1k in retail. So which is Humble Star, Nexus, I think Nexus, yeah, the ZiggyD Star, and all that. They all combined were around 1,000 copies, and 20,000 on Steam. And by now, it's since launch up to this day, it's around 25k copies sold, and this is mostly full price, so no sale. And this is pretty awesome, you know. Of course, there's lots of things to pay, and it's not all profit, but it's yeah, it's pretty cool. It was better than I expected. Okay, let me see. This game was exactly what I was looking for. Cool, that's awesome. That's what I'm you know, what I'm aiming. My motivation was actually to create a game exactly what I was looking for also. So I tried a few games here and there, and they didn't satisfy me, so I decided to do Star Valor. Yeah, still about launch. Besides Splattercat video, it was actually Splattercat made actually as 2 videos about the game, and the second they both had similar views, and it helped a lot. The other one was Wonderbot, which is a bit smaller YouTube, which was great as well. Nucleum did a video as well, and of course Ziggy D he did like 5 videos. It was awesome, not to mention the live stream. And then we had a lot of people, and for that, for all those people I have much to thank. So because we had a lot of smaller streamers helping a lot on launch, and I still have to do a thank you video because there's many people I need to thank you for, but I'll probably do that some other time. It's going to be a big video. So yeah, we had some people on streaming live on Steam, and maybe not sure you saw that, but like we had Zarinthal, we had Reaper, we had Novacat. I'm not sure Novacat's here because he has problems with the YouTube chat. I think LadyHawk as well. We had Physics Don't Apply. We have, who else streamed it? Let me check the streamer corner here. Oh yeah, we had a few days later after the launch, we had a couple of new streamers hopping in, and they were also they were awesome. Like Banlish with he did a video of 50 things I wish I knew before playing Star Valor, and the video was awesome, and monetized his channel with like half the amount of hours he needed, which was awesome. And so yeah, I was going not to try to remember everyone because there were many streamers. Like I met many people, cool people, like on Twitch, but I probably forget a lot of people. I should have written this down, but yeah. Okay, we have a lot of questions here. I'll get to that in a second. Oh yeah, okay, Novacat is here as well. Cool. Yeah, Nova streamed as well, and Goettert streamed a lot also. Goettert is awesome. And according to him, he is the best crew member, special crew member. Not sure about that, but yeah. So yeah, then the last few weeks, I've been doing PR stuff. I mean, answering emails, talking with people, and doing interviews. And I have a lot of like 3 or 4 interviews to actually schedule. I always kind of avoid some of them because I'm super shy. I think sometimes you've watched me. You are watching me now. I'm not used to speaking English, so. And so interviews, a bit of yeah, and also my office here is not really ready for streaming. As you can see, it's a little messed up. Well, you can see. Some other time I will show you. But it's not finished. The back part here is, you know, needs some work. Maybe I'll ask Zarinthal to do one of those furnitures and to, you know, put some things in the back here so I can put my action figures and what else, and you know, stuff. So I've been answering emails and, you know, talking with people. The Steam forums is insane lately. Well, now it's a bit cool. It cools down a bit, but in the first 2 or 3 weeks, it was insane. I'm glad I have my moderators and my collaborators to help me in that, because I wouldn't be able to, you know, answer not even half of that. And I've been fixing some bugs here and there. So yeah, it's been crazy. I've you know, I took some time for myself as well. I bought a Nintendo Switch and some controllers, so I've been playing a little bit. I can't play much actually. I just I like developing Star Valor, so I play a little bit in there with my girlfriend, and then I in the next moment I'm here like coding and testing and doing stuff. So but yeah, and so like for what I'm going to do from now on. Well, if you are here, you probably know my plans. You probably read you probably heard me talking about what's coming next, or you read my roadmap, and I intend to develop a lot of it still. Mostly the biggest updates are going to be mega structures, which will be like dungeons and sort of like dungeons in space, where you can enter with smaller ships to explore and loot, and it's going to be related to the game story, which I also feel I'll also be developing a bit more. And station building, it has been very requested, and so this is also coming. As I said before, I will add this as a DLC, maybe a bit later. Probably it's going to it's coming after I do the Faction Wars Part 2, because it's related. It's you know, and so it's probably coming later. But yeah, that's going to be a DLC. I'm also have which my next things, the immediate next things that I'm going to do is to finish the ship roles. I still need to add fighter role. I need to add the ranger role. Is a new one. I'm already developing it. Fighter, ranger. Then we have racing. The racing ships will come much later, because racing is just a very specific thing to add. So the ships are there. You know, the Mercury, the Pegasus. They are there. They are they are racing ships, but they don't have the role yet. But it will come. And the racing, we have passenger as well, like for taxi missions. People ask as well. This is also planned. This will come a bit later. But fighter and ranger, they will come pretty soon. And I think these are the two that is left from the main ship roles. And once I add that, I can move on to other things, like an economy patch, where I'll be changing the, you know, adding more stuff for trading, like an economy where, you know, stations and factories will just stock with us, will build, produce items. So which will be added to stock in the stations, and traders will try to transport it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the live part of traders, like ships trading between stations, but this will happen. And what else? I don't have a script here. Okay, I just remembered it from from my head. The economy patch. I'm also want to do a change in the way armor works, like Goettert always asks. It's going to be a little there will be armor separated from hull points and this sort of stuff. So there's, you know, many things I want to do, and of course I want to add more factions, and of course more ships. More ships are coming now. Well, it's not a spoiler anymore, so the Phantom Mark II is coming, and Zarinthal is here, I think, is listening, and he actually said he was going to update the model, so looking forward to that. And so yeah, more ships. I'm probably getting back to add more ships now, because since launch I didn't add any, and so more ships are coming. And what else? So DLCs, station building, mega structures, faction wars part 2, like more ships, ship roles, more functionalities, and you know, and what else I decide to add. There's no end to what I can add to a Star Valor, you know, until I'll be doing this, as long as it makes sense. So yeah, and so that's it. I was going to make this video a lot sooner, but you know, I had so many things, and I decided to wait. Yeah, multiplayer. Yeah, multiplayer. Thanks. Congratulations for the game. Thank you. I will get to the questions. I mean the messages in a second. Sorry if I'm not answering everyone. So yeah, multiplayer. What I'm going to add probably soon is the ability to control your fleet ships. I already said that. You'll be able to control your fleet ships with a joystick, so you can have a friend or your son. Many people play with their son, and it's awesome. I mean, they play in separate computers, or their sons or daughters, they cheer for them, and this is so cool. So I want to give the possibility to control your fleet ships or your other ships with your joystick, you know, with the gamepad, and this is much simpler to add than a full multiplayer. Full multiplayer will be considered later, because it's a lot of work, and the code is not. I mean, I always considered multiplayer, but I started developing the game 6 years ago, and I was a bit new in Unity, so I've done things in a way that's not ideal for now. It's not you know, it's not catastrophic, it's not bad, but it's not ideal for, you know, considering things that I'm doing right now, because you know, we are always learning, and I'm always learning. I'm not actually a programmer. I'm more of a game developer than a programmer. I'm not bad at programming. As you can see, the game has no, you know, breaking bugs, or it runs smooth in any machines. But even though I'm not great programming, so I've been learning a lot in the 6 years. And but the game can sustain multiplayer if I add a decent amount of time on this. I can add multiplayer. But yeah, this is for later on. I can't promise anything right now, as I always say. So, but yeah, just worth mentioning. But the local multiplayer, like fleet ships, controlling fleet ships, that's I'm going to add. So I even bought this this new Xbox controller here, and it's pretty cool, and I'm going to experiment here with the game. So yeah, this is coming. I'm not sure what I'm going to do first. as I said, first I need to finish the ship roles, and then I will see what else I can, what part I'm going to start. And yeah, so I think that was it for this part. I'm going to answer some questions, so feel free to post them here. I'm going to, scroll up the chat just to see if I missed something. Lots of people here. That's awesome. I hope you are all having fun with the game, and you are excited to what's coming next, as I am. Especially because the game did well. As I said, it was better than I expected, and my Patreon is also very cool. I'm having a lot of support on Patreon. In fact, I have so many commander tier patrons, the ones you get to create your special crewman, that I had to stop it for now. It's sold out if you check on my Patreon, because there is I think there is 6 or 7 or 8 patrons awaiting for their special crewman. Then I can't keep piling them up and not develop. So I'm going back to the special crewman now. Once I get them all added to the game, then I will open the commander tier back to accept new ones. So sorry if you wanted your special crewman for now, but you have to wait a little bit longer. But we'll get there. Okay, let me see. Let me see a few questions here. How is the music now? Is it too low? I'm not sure if it's too low, maybe. So let me see. Let me know. Just started playing the game a few days ago. Thanks for the amazing game. No problem. My pleasure, man. That's perfect. We'll take a purchase 3 copies for Mr. Fun purchases 3 copies for friends. Yeah, this is awesome. My community. I always say my community is great. I mean, they help a lot. I have my team here, my collaborators. They are awesome, and everyone. If you are playing the game, you are already helping, because you already bought your copy, and if you buy your copies for your friends, like this is, even better. And this says a lot that I'm on, I'm on the right track. Okay, I think we have the first. Yeah, I am at the old questions here. So Zarinthal says expectations can turn into distractions. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you start thinking of what can happen, and a lot of things that can go, and just can lose focus and get disappointed later, maybe. So it's better to keep your foot on the ground. Are you adding new features after 1.0? Oh yeah, so I already answered that. And no telling how far the momentum can carry. Ride the wave. Yeah, fully deserved, sir. Thank you, Steven Thomas. Gotta pay them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's we can't not talk. I mean, you can't not want the money. Sorry, I mean, you gotta get paid. So yeah, are you thinking about hiring people for helping you to develop the game? Yeah, I already hired. I have some. I have the translators. I already pay them. Like half of them I pay. The other half are volunteers. They just volunteer to help the game and get their names on the credits. But yeah, I definitely want to hire more people. I'm probably not for coding right now, but for other things. Like I hired a PR company for the marketing and the trailers and the influencer outreach So that's why the game sold better than I expected, because there was a actual company, a PR company. It was Indie Bros, and they were pretty cool. They were pretty great to work with. You know, they are really into gaming and they know what they're doing. So they were really helpful. So I am usually paying for services, for translations, for PR, for so I have done paid streamings before, like in the Boost. So yeah, but hiring people to work in the game, like in coding, I'm not planning it for now, because I know I could maybe speed things up, but it involves a lot of other things that I don't want to change for now. I will keep doing my own pace, which is what usually works for me. It was working for for the past 6 years. So yeah. What kind of cut did Steam take? Yeah, Steam takes actually the amount of sale, the amount the game sells. I only get half, because first there's the taxes, the little part of taxes in the Steam. Then they take 30%, because since I am not living in the United States, the United States government gets 30% of the profit I make in the United States. So games sold in the US, I get 70% only, and then after that, the Steam gets its cut, which is also 30%. So you add the fees, and the actual money that I get, that I receive, is actually half of the total amount of the total revenue. And of course there's the chargebacks and returns, which is the first thing the Steam cuts. So yeah, but this is totally fine, because Steam does most of the work in marketing and promoting the game. It's I would, if I launch the game like by myself in my own website or whatever, I wouldn't have any visibility, like not even 5% of what Steam allows me. And I always say that it's totally worth it to give the 30% on Steam. It's totally worth it. In 10 years, Laious' favorite game will be a game made by a dev who says, "I was inspired by Star Valor interpretation of the Space Sandbox RPG." Yeah, this is something we talk about here. It's giving your legacy. Star Valor is going to be here for maybe eternity. Who knows? And this is pretty cool to think about, because it's your work in your vision for a game, and it's here to stay. So hopefully it will inspire people in the future. And I think I already receive other colleagues, other dev friends, they already say they are inspired by my work, by Star Valor, and this is awesome. And I tend to help the ones I can. There are many developers, small developers, starting in business right now, and they are very lost, because I started 16 years ago, and I was totally lost. I mean, lost in what I should do, because there was no indie gaming here in Brazil. There was no one making a living out of gaming. There was all my colleagues in college, they were all going for another direction, and this is also why I am successful now, because the game, one of the reasons that Star Valor is doing well, because I did something different in the way back in college, like 20 years ago. I decided to make games, even though the here I live in, you know, it's in the middle of South Brazil, where there's no one living, making games. Well, probably there's someone now, but back then it was totally new. So if you do something different and you try to innovate and you follow, what you want to do, you follow your heart, and then if you, like Ziggy said, like if you put your heart and soul into one thing, it's going to be important, or it's going to be good. So yeah, I hope I can inspire people, and if I'm already doing this, even better. But yeah, this is pretty cool to think about. Your English is great. Yeah, thank you. We are always trying to improve, and I am always trying to improve in this, because I never talk in English with anyone. I only talk here in English. But yeah, so we don't want to see The Office, just you or the game. Yeah, it's just a small office with the game, with my computer. Awesome game, loved the game. Wait, hold on, I lost where I was here. Ooh, station building. Okay, yeah, station building is canon. Yeah, are there going to be any adjustments to level of each star sector? It feels like the danger ramps up too quickly once you try to leave the start. Yeah, this is related to your how you're playing the game. If you're playing relaxed, it takes longer to increase the levels. If you're playing hardcore, it will ramp right up. You can go from level 15 to 40 maybe. But yeah, this is always being adjusted. Sorry, I think I'm really behind on questions, so if you can let me just see if I have something. Congratulations for the game. What's the difference between shield gen and shield absorb? Well, this is the shield question. The shield regen is the amount your actual shields regain power, and the shield absorb is a different, separate pool, which it's kind of the same thing on the shield, normal shield, but it's if you have, for example 10 shield absorb, it will regen up to 10. Then if you take 10 damage, it will get to 0, and in 1 second it will regain back up to 10. But this is invisible, so it's almost the same thing. It's always shield regen, and that's why it's not it's going to change. So I'm not happy with how it is right now, so it's going to change. Yggdrad said, as long as you implement local multiplayer, Steam can handle the online part. Yeah, this is one of the things one of my motivations as well, because of the remote play together. So you can do it, over the internet. Modding easier. Any additions change to modding easier? Yeah, I'm already doing some little tricks here and there to make modding easier. I've been talking to modders in our Discord. So this is something I want to keep, addressing. I'm not doing anything huge right now, because they actually said they can mod fine, but there's a lot of little things that I could do to improve it, and actually some kind of interface, or it's not planned for now, just a way to facilitate code injections and other things. So, but yeah, I want to add more support for that. But let me see. Inspired by your work. Oh, cool. Stephen Thomas. What would you say to someone's building their first game? I'm a digital artist, want to make my characters come alive in a game. What do you think of software like Game Maker? yeah, a game maker like RPG Maker and Game Maker, they are pretty cool tools for when you start. I never used them because I come from computer science graduate, so I immediately went to developing a multiplayer game, which was my first game, using Delphi and Object Pascal. So I immediately went into programming with the IDE, and it wasn't really game oriented, although I used OpenGL, and then I immediately went to Unity. So, but if you are starting the game maker, it can be pretty cool if you want to do something like that, you know. But you could also start like in Unity if you want it, or even Unreal. Unreal, you have the blueprints system. Unity, you have both. I think it's both. It's called, which is not programming. If you are programming, any of them is fine. I really love Unity, so you can just hop in. But yeah, Game Maker, RPG Maker, it's for specific visuals and types of games. But for your first game, totally it's cool. It's a good way to try something. And but I would say, obviously, I always say start small. Start with a smaller game, a simpler game. Not because you are not capable of doing a bigger game, because your experience will improve a lot once you finish your first game. And it doesn't matter the size of the game, but once you finish a product and launch and get your money and get feedback and test and fix bugs and launch updates, all this process will give you an entire new perspective to game developing. So if you can do this with a small game, it's much better. Some people try to make a big game right from the start, and they get frustrated. This is really not what you want when you're developing your first game. So yeah, okay. I'd like to say, great game, mate. You've done amazing job. Thank you so very much. What is the ranger role going to be? Yeah, ranger is going to be a exploration. It's kind of a survival specialist, exploration, scavenging, and a little bit of fighting. Mostly exploration, scavenging, but it's not a fighter focus role, and it's not a non-combat role. It's in the middle. But I think you like this. You like the ranger. Yeah, range is a bit less clear. Yeah, but it's going to be cool. Music is good level. Appreciate the transparency with development. Cool. Yeah, I like to keep things like plain and simple and transparent, when it comes to development of the game. Any specific areas of the game you wanting us to testing feedback on? For version 2.1, I will start a beta testing. So if you want to join the beta testers, you can sign my Patreon or join Discord, and we often invite people for beta testing. Usually lately we're just inviting the patron which is the pilot tier, but currently there's no beta going on. I'm just fixing stuff and adding in the game. So but we have a beta, and then we'll test lots of things. So if you check our Discord, you'll probably be aware of when things go live, if you want to participate, So, but right now there's no beta going on. Funny, I didn't see anything about Star Valor. I just randomly came across it. Yeah, this is the indie world. I'm independent, so I don't have a publisher, a big publisher, or so. Even though the PR companies, they can reach like so much. They can do insane amount of publishing, you know, and I don't have the budget for it. So yeah, many people they discover the game by random, you know, and they come across someone else playing the game, and this is how it is. So this is why the streamers are so important for the PR, the public relations, and creating awareness of the game. Worth a buy. Your YouTube recommended Star Valor about it. Cool. Yeah, worth a buy was actually it was a pretty fun video. Oh yeah, I didn't actually write it down. Yeah, worth a buy. Thank you. I was writing the big videos on YouTube, and I forgot about worth a buy, which is, you know, my fault. I even answered that. Any plan on implementing active loot collection for fleets? Collector role. GC flies some distance out to go pick up loot for you. You mean adding fleet freighters instead of piloting one? Your fleet ships already pick up loot. They don't go after loot, but yeah, maybe I can add like an instruction, or you know, like a stance. Maybe. Hello everyone. I saw the word buy. Cool. I started almost 28 years with Space Sim Sandbox, with one of the defining classics, Escape Velocity by Umbrella. Yeah, Escape Velocity is very... It's the game the people most reminded of when playing Star Valor is Escape Velocity. It brings back the essence of this game, and for that I'm truly thankful. Cool, my pleasure. I actually always say I'd never played Escape Velocity. I played the game is inspired by other games like Elite Frontier and Master of Orion 2 mostly, and but yeah, this it's a pretty cool, you know, pretty cool mention. Like people say, you know, Subspace, Escape Velocity, Dark Orbit, and Space Rangers. You know, there's many games that remind the Star Valor reminded, but I'm glad it's it has its own thing, you know. Even of course Star Sector, that there's kind of a this was something that happened in during launch, which wasn't ideal. Like at some point in launch, some people started to create like how can I say, like a competition between Star Valor and Star Sector. You know, it's totally unnecessary. But some people, oh, Star Sector is better, so they actually went there and did some negative review, saying, oh, this game is not Star Sector, so I'm going to negative review it. I mean, yeah, that's fine, but you know, it's Star Sector is an awesome game, and Star Valor is also a great game. So you don't have to one doesn't need to be the other one. You know, it doesn't have to be the same or better. They are just different games, and this should be, you know, fine. If one is not for you, okay, just, you know, just don't play it, and that's totally fine. But yeah, so many games remind of Star Valor, and this is pretty cool. It only tells how deep the game is, you know. The game you have created bring... Okay. Agree. Hey, Shara. Hi. Hey, Punky. Rafael Punk is my friend. Real life friend, like Cyranoth. Like any creative pursuit, if you have the heart, anything is possible. Oh yeah, totally. This is so true. Stephen Thomas. Seasage. Hey, Seasage. This is a bit late to the party, but hello, Laious and everyone. Hello, Seasage. Welcome. Good to have you here, man. Seasage is one of our collaborators, and streamer and Patreon and everything you can. And if you haven't checked his video, it's another video, awesome video on which was released during launch, I think. It's or a bit before launch, I don't recall, but it's a video about comparing armor tanking versus shield tanking, and it's pretty cool. So go watch it. Yevon, thanks for your work. I hope my criticism doesn't offend you too much. My harsh criticism is not intended to offend you. Oh no, I want the game to develop and be filled with content. Oh yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I'm totally open to criticism. You know, I'm just as long as people are don't, you know, get disrespectful about in me and my work or whatever. This is totally fine, and I'm always listening to criticism, like suggestions and criticism. You know, I know the game is far from perfect, so this is normal in any game. There's that 10% that doesn't enjoy the game, and this is fine. I can't please everyone, so you know, I'm constantly trying to improve the game for those people, but you know, it's never going to be 100%. So this is certain, and all criticism I appreciate it. All suggestions are welcome. I have an insane list of things I want to add in the game, and you know, so this is totally fine. I appreciate it. Brian Smith, I think it's Mr. Purple, judging by the picture. Showed late too. Glad you do this, Laious. They have good info. Even though I have 1.6 thousand hours in the game. Yeah. Whoa, that's. You should be in our Discord, because you know, with this many hours, I think only Zarinthal has more. Pretty sure. I can't remember others. Okay, so thank you for the response. Really appreciate that. No problem, my pleasure. Star Sector, even the same kind of game. That's a weird comparison. Yeah, it's not. You know, Star Valor is more arcadey. Star Sector is more strategy or fleet. You know, grand strategy. No, not grand strategy, but you know, it's in Star Valor was more arcadey and combat focused and one ship, even though we can have a fleet. But yeah, Zarinthal, the amount of people who seem to think there needed to be a choice were silly. Why not play both? Yeah, they can play both, you know. Play one, then you get tired and play the other one. It's as simple as that. So they complain the games aren't carbon copies of each other. Yeah, I think it's some kind of you know, they one thing that I think was kind of I don't know the words here, but they are kind of sad that, for example, Worth a Buy, the guy who did, what's his name, Mac? I don't remember, but he actually did the video about Star Valor, and they haven't done about the Star Sector. So there are many, you know, posts saying, oh, you should play Star Sector, it's better than Star Valor, and this kind of got maybe too much attention. So not sure if that's what triggers it, but so anyway, Star Sector is great and Star Valor is great, so we can both, you know, both games are great. So yeah, Brian Smith, yeah, Mr. Purple, yeah. You're always a good dev. Thanks for making Star Valor. No problem, my pleasure. Thanks for all the cool talk and the feedback. Let me just, I think I have just a few more messages here. Let me see. I have questions in Discord as well. And I think we'll try to add the private messages here. Like a private message, the private voice chat in Discord. So in a second we'll try to invite more people here, maybe Zarinthal or maybe Goettert, the streamers who are our collaborators, and of course Ziranot, if he's still here, he can hop in. We'll try that in a second. Just let me check out the message. Well, the game here is not sure if I should do something here. Well, maybe I'll just load something here so we can have a battle going on in the background. better. Okay, going back to the messages, faction wars, lively economy, the diligence of different stations would have already made a very large variety in the born procedure generation. Yeah, this is the problem of procedure generation, you know. It's really hard to do some things that are not similar to the other ones, like the galaxy, you know, the sectors may be close to each other because of that. But yeah, I'll be improving this, like I'm always trying to improve this. I've said before how good a dev you are. Just wanted to state it again, just because. Thank you, Mr. Brian, that's really appreciated. I apologize for bad English. Oh no, your English is fine, like, you know, I can say my is better. I have a question, but it's not about the game. I was wondering, what is your favorite science fiction TV series? Favorite science fiction TV series? Well, this excludes. I love Star Valor, but it's not science fiction. Star Wars, but it's not actually science fiction. I loved like Babylon 5. I really enjoyed it. I'm not much of a tracker. Not actually a tracker. I enjoyed watching it. I know Zeronaut is a big fan, but I'm not very much. I like The Expanse as well. You know, The Expanse, I think it's pretty science fiction. What else? Yeah, the big series. I think these two are the most fun I had. Playing Star Sector encouraged me to play Star Valor. Yeah, see, you can play both games and you can find out about any one of them. Yeah, of course, Star Sector is like in more than 10 years in development, so you probably heard of much more people, you know, heard about it, and so yeah, I was glad to see that it wasn't the same, as two games too similar tend to overshadow one another. Yeah, no, they're similar but pretty unique in their own way. Hey Laious, I've said hello when I've seen you in stream. Oh, hello. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to play a lot, and I don't have any suggestion, but I'm still having a lot of fun. Thanks. My pleasure. I'm glad you're having fun. This is what matters. Star Valor has had so much development in just a few months. Yeah, it did. Yeah. I always say I discovered. I mean, I just found the way I work best, you know. I have my schedules, my thing, you know. It's just how I work, and it has been working great the way I do things. Dragon PC, hey Dragon. Dragon is also a valued supporter of ours. Waterby tumbled up the game and he's hypercritical of everything. Good stuff. Yeah, yeah, he is. It was a great. I even added his review in the Steam page. So, hello, I have arrived at the party and can now start. Yeah, you can start now. This game has brought me lots of joy. Thank you, Thomas Toledo. Thank you, Thomas. Glad you enjoyed the game. I have a tea here. Okay, time to check the Discord questions. WeaverSong, yeah, WeaverSong is also awesome supporter of ours. Not sure he's in the chat on YouTube, but yeah. What was his question again? Is there any plans for an arena update? Yeah, the arena hasn't changed much lately. I don't have actual plans for now for you know, to improve it. I'm usually just updating it according to what things I add to the game, and but probably, you know, sometime soon I'll be doing, you know, some changes to it. I'm open to suggestions as always. So, but no, I don't have right now. I don't have a specific plan to change to add to the arena. Gotcha, he's asked, currently the game kind of slowly ends as you decide you can no longer improve. Are there plans to change that? Can you tell us what and when? Missions to go to, access spawn later removed, sector which is heavily fortified and destroy strong stations there. Yeah, occasional bosses with hunter fleets or hunter fleets with a more handcrafted setup to really test your strength instead of their current setup. So those are ideas. Yeah, probably megastructure. Oh yeah, okay. So your those were ideas and things you think I'm adding. Yeah, own station or some other fix point creations. Yeah, the things for end game or once you get to a point where you can no longer you are not having fun anymore. These are the critical things, but yeah, I'm always trying to improve this. One of the things I want to do is to make the galaxy more alive. So your actions will affect the sectors more than they do now, because right now it's just a few things change. But I definitely want to add this, like a more interactive, not stations, but the sector in general. I think with the station building, this will change a lot. This will be, you'll be able to, for example, put some money on stations in one sector. You will be able to build stuff there, build bases, build turrets. So it will actually improve that sector, which will attract more enemies maybe, and so this kind of things will probably keep the player interested longer. And of course, people asked about Ravager fleets, which is a thing with maybe a end game thing really over the top, like having a Ravager fleet warping on top of you, or a sector with Ravagers. And this is actually in line with the lore, with the story. So yes, I will probably add something like that. And Zero is actually modeling some new things that will be added in that regard, like related to Ravagers and the Ancients. So this is there's a few things coming soon. Will megastructures include new difficult things to do for size 6 ships? The fun kind of falls off when you have found a good build and destroy everything in no time. Is it really T? Yes, it is. It is really T. And destroy everything. Oh, okay. So megastructures are going to be only for small ships, and because small ships kind of are a bit limited in the content they have, like comparing to bigger ships and bigger fleets. So small ships will have the megastructures. You will enter them with your small ship, like probably max size would be Corvette, like size 3, and then you have to do your things there and loot and do some things that I won't tell just yet because they're related to story. But yeah, so it's going to be more of a size small ships thing, and it's going to introduce lots of different items, like orange item crafting, for example, and specific items then which you will only find in megastructures. Then you're going to say, oh, but if I like big ships, I can't get these items as well. There will be more things added after megastructures, also for big ships, so it's not going to be only directed to small ships. But it will be more contents overall, not only for small ships, but the megastructure itself, it's only a small ship thing. Flash. Hey Thraknar, the pirate. LadyHawk is here. Hi LadyHawk. Welcome everyone. Fleshed out additional quest lines, something we can... Yeah, I actually forgot to say that, but I'm already doing a few more quests, like to develop the things that the Join in the War quest I added. That was a last moment thing to add, just to give the player the feel of like a goal. And this will be improved. It's not going to be a big thing. It's just a few just a quest chain for the COT and the Vangi, and other ones there. Zarinthal is writing actually the quests, like the texts, so it's going to be added real soon. The pirate has arrived, yeah. I'll try to get people on voice chat real soon. One thing I really admire about indie games like this is the opportunity gives you to participate, not like those big companies where you just have to settle for what they give you. Yeah, I mean, I understand that how, you know, in big games you cannot be flexible, but at the same time, I can say that it's you know, the right thing, because I disagree. I think we need to, you know, listen to player always, and even if it is, you know, simple things, you know, I like to implement things. If you say to me, oh, you could do something like that, and if I think it's good and it's really easy to implement, I'll just do it. I've done it many times, and yeah, you could never ask this for, you know, a big company. Probably not. They wouldn't even listen to you. So yeah, I like this aspect, and this is one of the things that I like about being indie developer, because I can talk with you, I can interact with everyone, and you know, this is one of the things I love about my work. You know, after all, I'm doing the game for you, for the players, and the money is a consequence. But the game is for you. So the pirate has arrived. Ladies here. Oh well, nice turn. Nice turn out. Hi everyone. Hello. I'm actually mid-game in Star Valor right now. Been cruising around for a few hours, and I'm now paused because I saw this live stream pop up on YouTube, which was in the background. Cool. Welcome then. Hello. Oh, it's Brian. Sorry, I didn't read your name. So, yeah, you gotta increase that 1,600 hours of game. I was playing as well. This game rocks. Awesome. Question: do you add sugar to your tea? No, I just add just tea. It's nothing else. I don't add milk as well. I know you do, but yeah. Excellent game. I love the customization. Thank you so much for expanding this game. Oh yeah, no, my pleasure. Welcome, Matt Bell. Hi, can you make it that the larger ships can carry the size 3 and the co-pilot can take over while we fly out in the size 3 ship for the mission? Yeah, this is kind of intended to be added later. Like, you can park your dreadnought and then launch yourself in a smaller ship. It's a bit more complicated because, but yeah, this is something I want to do. This game is so much fun. Thank you, Thomas. I have about 30 hours in the game so far. Yeah, I mean, when you start playing it, the hours go. They just add up. It's insane, and this is awesome. Seeing that your people are playing your game for like hundreds of hours. This is great because, as I always say, if you are getting your money's worth, then it's awesome. Let me check Discord. Oh, okay. So we have Novacat in Zarinthal in the private voice. I will get there in 5 minutes. Oh, we are. It's over 1 hour stream. Okay. Let me just check the questions here in Discord. Any plans to introduce a legendary upgrade kit? Yes, there will be upgrade kit for legendary. That was a gotcha question, and this will be also in megastructures. Question: why do you look so old? Well, I am old. I have 41. This is old. I am old. Naturally, power went out at like 14 hours something. Oh. Novacat was out of power there. Hopefully he's... Okay, here's Legion. Okay, I'm really far behind here. A lot of people ask about level cap, especially for knowledge, especially fleet commander. Yeah, I can see people want more fleet commander. You know, larger fleets and stuff. Honestly, I need to add more in-game content, more challenging stuff before I allow such big and massive fleets to you know, also a bit of optimization in the game, because right now I need some things to improve it before making, you know, enabling huge mega fleets to spawning. I've been playing. Could drone bay be implemented? Well, there are drones. We have drone bays, like drone hangar space. They are only free space for drones, but yeah, we have those. One UI addition I would love: showing weapon slot numbers on the ship hangar and showing on the left side the same weapon slot number to easily see where item is slotted in. Yeah, this is the slots, the weapon slots things. It needs improvements. Yeah. Huge fan of her game. Played over 100 hours in something like 3 weeks. Congrats. Looking forward to see some co-op mode. Yeah. I'm as I said, I'm going to add a local co-op. Like you'll be able to add your friends or someone in the joystick to control your fleet ships. So this is going to happen. Should I just talk with Novacat and Sleepy Dragon right now? What do you say? If you don't know, both Novacat and Sleepy Dragon Zarinthal, they are collaborators, like old collaborators, like from no, I wouldn't say if it's 3 years or 4 years, but and they help a lot in our community. So I would try to add them to stream. Right now, let me see. Should we do it now? Not sure Zeronaut can join, but if he can, Zeronaut, just join the private voice in the voice chats in Discord. I think you can do that. So we'll have a chat with everyone. Well, the collaborators. A few more questions here then. Agree. I have all but given up on AAA AAA games. In my opinion, indie developers are saving video games. You know what? I pretty much agree with that. I mean, AAA games, you know, they are visual, they are eye candy, but actually the real fun is in indie games. Unfortunately, fortunately, that's the true, I think. Not saying my game is the fun, but I have played more indie games than mainstream games. Totally. I've been playing Star Valor on my Steam Deck only, and it works amazingly after setting up bindings. Yeah, this is you have to set things, because I have no idea how the deck works, like a touchpad and things like this. I will be optimizing it once I get one, but I really want to get a Steam Deck, but I can't buy one in here in Brazil, and I requested for Steam. Like there's a thing where you can request hardware on Steam, and it's on review for like a year, I think. And I'm not. I know they will probably not send me one, but who knows. The only thing that gives issues with are hidden debris fields. Small screen hard. Yeah. Small screen is hard to hold. Hard mode there. It is. Yeah, you have to really, zoom in, and yeah, this can be a bitch. Physics don't apply. Hello, Laious. Just stopping in for a couple of minutes. Your face cam makes you look like Giga Chat. Who is GigaChat? Sorry, I don't know who that is. Text physics also streamed in launch. I think it streamed in launch in our Steam page, Star page. Hi, will be there anything new for players who like mining? Mining has been receiving a few additions, like the mining fleets, like mining roll. So like fleet ships now will use refineries and collector beams. So it's pretty fun to do some mining. But in regards to the actual metals and the things refined, yeah, I want to add something at least. But what's going to be natural and a natural improvement will be the new ships to be crafted, you know, because now we can craft ships, so you will be able to craft more of them pretty soon. Okay, so we have WeaverSong, Sleepy Dragon, and Novacat and Private Voice. Let me check if I can get them on board, and let's see how OBS will handle it. Okay. Oh, Zarinthal even has a cam here. Can I put it? Hey, Zarinthal.
What's up?
Hey, awesome. How are you? Who else is here? Novacat and Weaver. Cool. Welcome you all. I'm not sure the chat is.
Is there a delay on the YouTube?
Oh yeah, you have to mute. Yeah, mute the YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone in YouTube and chat.
My sound off the YouTube.
Yeah, let us all know if you are listening to them, because honestly, it's the first time I do this, so I'm not sure you can listen to them.
Can you hear me?
We can all hear you.
Okay, they can hear me.
But the viewers at home, you know.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
We don't know if they can hear us yet. I guess I can just unmute the video real quick.
I think they can hear because it's showing the feedback here in the, but yeah, never know. Let me just turn up the audio desk too. Yeah, working fine. Okay, cool.
They hear us, cool.
Then we are set.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice to see you all.
Nice to see you all. Weaver, are you there? Oh wait. Dragon can't join here. I'm going to.
Oh, Dragon PC, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to wait. Can I invite him here? Create invite. Okay, then let's invite.
And Thraknar and what about Thraknar and seasage?
Oh yeah, aren't they at? Oh, let me just wait. Oh, cancel.
Maybe it'll let you drop it as a link in the.
Yep, I will.
This channel.
Let me add the permission for more people here. Add the members. Where? Okay, valued supporters. Okay, now it should be fine. Seasage and where is Seasage? Dragon, you can also join the private voice if you want. Dragon PC 75 and
cool.
Where is Seasage? I mean, is he live? Is he in Discord?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he posted a minute ago on Patreon.
Okay, let me check.
As the admin, you should also be able to just drag Dragon PC into this voice chat.
Oh, yeah, can I drag
Oh,
him?
yeah.
Oh, cool.
As far as I can tell, I've just moved. There you go.
Yeah, that makes things easier. Where is Seasage?
Welcome, Dragon.
Nice.
Hey, welcome, Dragon.
Hey.
Okay, so Seasage can join as well now. He's also a value supporter. I don't know why he wasn't, but anyway, I'm not adding for patrons because there are many patrons, so this can go wild.
Yeah,
so I'm
that's
just,
true.
Yeah, so I'm just adding this for collabs. And hello, Seasage. So the idea for this is just to to gather people. We are still missing Zeronaut. Not sure he is going to be able to join here. I think his.
He mentioned that his son might get a little excited if he hears him talking to other people.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well. So Zeronaut, if you can, just hop in.
Nice.
And I can. Okay. LadyHawk is here. Is awesome. Hello, welcome, lady.
Hello.
Hello. So we have a big team here. And for the viewers, we have then let me just. So we have Novacat is one of the special crewmen. Well, actually, everyone here are special crewmen. I think Dragon. Did I make your Dragon? I'm not sure. I did.
I don't think it's in game yet, but
yeah,
it's WIP.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's a work in progress. So, but LadyHawk.
It's just in game.
Okay, cool. So LadyHawk, Novacat, seasage. Seasage has lots of, but only one is in the game yet. In WeaverSong and Sleepy. So we have for those in chat, we have all the guys here, all the people here. If you wanna ask something to them, just go ahead and ask in the chat. Like we have Zarinthal is a streamer. He's also streams a lot very frequently. WeaverSong is a moderator. Like, well, you are all moderators, right? In Steam, I think.
I think so.
I think most of us are.
Yeah. So if you want to ask something for them, in the meantime, I'm going to ask you something. Do you all remember how did you find the game? Like we can start with I don't know, whoever wants to. Yeah, Novacat. I think you were one of the first, right? I mean, I remember you from way back.
I joined in. Yes, I joined in 2018, summer 2018, a few days after the game initially started early access. I only ever found out or heard of it from, actually at the time, a pirating site. Tried it out that night, bought it the next day.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Classic story.
Yeah, it was not something that was listed, despite my tastes at the time, on my Steam, on any recommendations on the store, anything like that. So, but I found it. That's why I found it, heard for the first time on there. I did have a bit of a try before you buy after having been burned rather hard by several early accesses at the time.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, when the game's good, right?
Yeah,
yep.
Totally. Yeah, I remember you way back. I then it was it right after early access start then, right? Or before?
Yeah, within a few days of it coming out as early access.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, if I recall correctly, I think either WeaverSong or Zarinthal followed, or maybe seasage. Anyone joined right after it? I mean, right after early access?
Well, actually, I got the game about a year later. It was I'm looking at the purchase sheet right now. I paid $6.04 on June 30th of 2019.
Oh, okay.
The game was on sale, and I'd actually had it wishlisted for a while. A friend of mine had told me about it because he kept watching me play Endless Sky, and he's like, "You're really into this game. Like, wouldn't you prefer something a little more interactive?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was actually going to look into games like the Gummy Ship aspect from Kingdom Hearts, and something where there was a little more customization options and stuff like that." And he goes, "Have you seen this game?" And I was like, "No, I haven't, but it looks perfect." And I held it on my wish list for a while, bought it when it was on sale, and I was just like, "Oh my god, why haven't I been playing?" And then I looked at him and I was like, "Why do you know about this game? This is not your style at all." And he's just like, "I don't know, it just came across and it sounded like something you'd like." And I was like, "Wow, I'd never heard of it."
Well,
nothing on Steam was telling me to buy it, even though I played hundreds of hours of Endless Sky. Steam never recommended it to me, and I was like, "Thank God this guy's watching out," because
surprisingly,
otherwise
right?
I never would have.
Because it's weird that it didn't show up for you. And in the other question is, who is your friend? I mean, where is he? Is he playing yet, or didn't play much? Just showed you?
It's not his style of game. He's not usually
okay.
into the 2D top-down games.
Mm-hmm.
Arcade, tactical, none of that stuff. He likes more of the crafting style games, stuff like that. But something more ground-based, you know, he likes Terraria, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see. Well, I'm glad
So
he.
I get maybe he found it because he plays a lot of the retro games and crafting games, and it came through that way. And I was like,
Steve-
dude, Star Valor has crafting, and he's like, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, one of these days when it has multiplayer, I'm sure he'll get into it.
Okay.
I think that's more of the kind of thing that he looks for.
Yeah.
Steam's algorithms do get a little odd about this. So if you was, for example, if you're looking at some other games and they'll say, if you like this, recommend these ones. The thing is, some of them are entirely unrelated. So there may have been a tangential thing that just showed him Star Valor.
Exactly. He likes the retro style games that have crafting. Star Valor has that. And for some reason, me playing top-down 2D space games didn't get recommended it, but he did. And I was just like, Steam, what you doing? What's going on there?
Yeah, there's a weird thing about Steam and the game. Sometimes it relates the game to Terraria, so maybe that's it. But and some other pretty similar games, they don't show up as similar to Star Valor, and it's not related to tags. I don't know. So it's something. It's sometimes it's weird, weird like that. So,
but since then, it's been like you said. I've got ridiculously high hours in the game now. It's been 3 years and 3 months, and I've just crossed the 2,000 hour mark.
2,000. That's insane. I haven't seen anyone with this mark, and I totally see. You played for the amount of play of time I see you playing. It's totally accurate. I mean,
Yep.
It's this.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely my most played game on Steam.
I'm not even halfway there, but part of my timer is from I spent a lot of time in offline mode. It doesn't count your hours during that.
Yeah.
I'm probably closer to 1,400.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's totally awesome. Maybe
for us newer guys, it's a lot harder to catch up. He's got a lot of time on us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I did the math. So that's averaging 600 hours a year, which is basically 25 days. It's the equivalent of playing 25 days worth per year for the last 3 years.
Whoa, that's a lot.
About an hour 45 a day or something like that.
So if you think of what you do in 25 days, I mean, sure, it's spread out, but
yeah, it's spread out. But
think of what you could do in 25 days.
Yeah, come on, you're having fun. You're, building stuff in your ship. So yeah, this is
always.
Cool.
There's always something new to try, some idea. Yeah. I love that. That's one of the things that I like about streaming is that people give me ideas on ways to play that, just seeing what I'm doing, and they're like, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?
Yeah.
And it's like they're not necessarily going to play for 2,000 hours, so they might not get into the exact same situations, but they see me do it, and they're like, well, why are you doing it like that? Or why don't you try this? And I'm like, actually, that's a good damn idea. I'm going to try it. Oh, that is a really good idea.
Yeah.
And it opens up a whole new way to play for me.
Yeah.
Dying monitor aside, my streams would be pretty terrible these days because I'd open the game up, play 5 minutes, and then spend an hour in the help channel.
Yeah. I'm trying to...
Yeah, that's a lot of fun, too. Being able to answer questions and...
Go ahead.
That's another thing I like about broadcasting.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm trying to add your cam here, but I don't see how... Yeah, I'm pretty new at this, so... But
that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Being able to help people live and demonstrate things, and Novacat's made tons of... and it's like dense content. It's like you're watching him do something and you're just like, what the wait, what did you just do? Why did you do that? And it's
yeah, exactly.
Just it's very dense content, very educational.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm just running on insomnia.
Hey.
Yeah. No.
Delirium is often one of the best motivators.
There is that.
So
it's like I can't sleep till I do the thing, and I'm exhausted, but I'm gonna finish this thing and then I can sleep. So that's my motivation to get it done, so I can finally get some sleep.
Yeah.
I lost the entire drone rework sheet that I was doing.
Oh
to
no.
turn drones into a crafting system. The idea was because there's been many requests about fixing up the drones and changing them, and I
Yeah.
thought you've already got the weapon crafting system, and you already have set behaviors, selections, and things like that. So if they could be selected effectively from the crafting sheet, we'd have a lot of leeway. The one thing that would be missing was something that you, Laious, suggested, or rather mentioned working on a while back, internal ammo stores.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Effectively for the ammunition type weapons, or an equivalent in batteries or battery space for energy weapons, after which the drones would have to return to base for a refuel.
Yeah, this could work. I actually want to add this. I still need to add this. Like your weapons having adding simple space for ammo, like every weapon slot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this would work for drones as well, and it would be a cool gameplay, cool mechanic. Like they would go back and forth with ammo and stuff.
That would be interesting if if you're crafting a weapon, that one of the mods you could add to the weapon was extra ammo capacity.
Yeah, indeed.
To conserve your cargo space, by basically converting weapon space into cargo space.
Yeah.
Also, if part of the weapon
But,
crafting is the drone, and if the part of the weapon crafting is the drone mode, then you can effectively create whatever you want in terms of the drones, kamikazes, orbitals around you that fire out either at a locked enemy or forward otherwise.
Oh yeah.
Which would also fix the we want more hard points idea.
Yeah.
These hard points, however, would be vulnerable to being shot down, especially for those of us who use area point defenses.
Yeah, indeed. People usually, they often ask for drone customization, and at one point I'm going to, I'm going to have to give some love to the drones, and but I think first I'm going to do some more missile things like modifiers, like crafting, and then I will probably get to drones. I'm not sure it's going to be like custom. I will make sure to watch your. If you ever do it again, Nova.
I've started rewriting it while at work. It's just been very busy, so right now it's a bit of a, how do I say, because I can't take my laptop there anymore because the hinges are dead. Effectively, I'm looking for a new one. At this time right now, it's we have large order invoice sheets. So you could say it's in triplicate, but it's also basically unreadable.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
It's handwritten.
Handwritten, okay. No, but we'll get to that then. We'll get to that eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually. And
Dusty Apples in chat wants to know if there's any estimate on time frame for player-made stations.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. I don't have an ETA on that because it's probably for. I mean, certainly for next year, because I have all the things that I mentioned earlier, like fleet roles, ship roles, and a couple of things that I need to add before. But maybe player station building will be the first big thing in 2023, maybe. So.
As much as I look forward to megastructures, the stations and the economy do feel like they're higher priority for most of the player base, and it probably would help more for the game.
And this is sad because I mentioned megastructure since 4 years ago, right, Nova? And you were excited for that.
Yeah, you were you were talking about it in 2018. Yes.
Yeah. So. I mean, so...
it's one of those things where every time something else in the game changes even slightly, you have to go back and rework the megastructure concept.
And it's it's a... Let's say it's not the most requested thing, so... But I know most players will love it, but...
and that may be also because it is one of the more... vague subjects that people can't quite envision yet, so they hear megastructure and they're like okay, big thing,
big thing,
and then they go back to wanting more fleet commander.
Those of us who remember either Descent or the Extreme Games versions of Subspace have a
Yeah.
pretty clear idea when we think megastructures. You know, a
Yeah,
combination
yeah.
of these two things.
Exactly. No,
For
I will-
others, it's probably more vague.
it
I
sounds
will
great in
never
my
forget
head.
the
Man.
first time I played Descent.
Oh yeah, Descent.
Oh, I
Yeah,
loved Descent.
I wasn't
It's such an
a huge
amazing
fan.
concept.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's. I remember Zeronaut played a lot of it. I'm not sure if he was actually a fan. I played a bit of it, but I don't know that there was something there that I don't know, didn't keep me playing. But yeah, it's a great concept.
I didn't play it a lot. I'll never forget the first time I played it because it made me reimagine the way I thought about space games. It was just the
Oh, yeah.
fact that it was that 3D free movement kind of. I was like, oh, this is huge. Like, this is
Yeah.
the next thing before VR starts to actually do
Mhm.
something worthwhile as far as immersion.
It
Yeah.
was one of the first games where VR was actually decent for.
Like, it just the hit of creativity that comes over you when you play that game for the first time. It's just like your imagination just goes wild. It's like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
they can do this, they can do anything.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
even the early AI as well. Some of the bots would see you, run away, and go get help. This was not something we'd seen
Yeah.
in any other game so far.
Exactly. And didn't see again for a while. I don't think it was until I don't know how many
Keep
like
talking.
even Quake 2 didn't have anything like that. Quake 3 was like, well, just the arena mode, but I don't know that was really a thing AI in games really did very often.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whereas, you're playing this for the first time and you see this tiny little scout bot just see you fire off one little red bolt that does almost nothing and runs away.
Yeah.
And then it comes back with two very big friends later on.
Yeah, it
You've
basically
forgotten
hits you with
about
a
it.
flare gun and takes off, and it's just like, don't let it get away. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but it gets away and you forget about it. And a minute later, it's behind you with its buddies.
yep,
That was, yeah. So when
long
I
range
think
missile accuracy
megastructures,
was tough in that game too.
oh yes, but it's so good.
Yeah, I was trying to get what there was. I think 2 years ago I made a kind of a sketch of how megastructures would look like, but yeah, that's gone. But sorry.
They're no
yeah.
longer in there.
Dusty Apples said in the chat they have no idea how, they don't really understand what megastructures are going to be, but it's mostly it's going to be like dungeons where you go in with your small ship, and there are traps and turrets and monsters or whatever. I haven't decided yet, but ships and cool stuff to blow up. And it's actually going to be a part of a special mechanic that related to the story, so which I'll keep it in secret for now. But yeah, it's kind of a dungeon in space, like a base you enter and do stuff and blow
a
stuff
dungeon
up.
crawl will be wonderful.
Yeah.
So when I think about dungeons in space, I think of a combination like StarCraft's installation maps, the indoor maps, and then a little bit Star Fox at the same time. Like the when you go inside of an installation in Star Fox.
Yes.
I don't remember inside in Star Fox. I don't remember that.
Star Fox had a couple of indoor locations in the first one and the N64. It was usually just a tunnel in the original Star Fox, but Star Fox 2 on 64, well, that's not technically 2, but Star
2
Fox
was
64.
on the SNES, but wasn't released.
Oh, okay.
Because it was terrible.
There is that.
They tried to make it a strategy game. It was bold at the time. They wanted to make a strategy game, but
okay.
Anyway, the inside places were a little bit linear, but the installation maps on StarCraft, like sure your land units, but they're a little bit more maze. They're typically more maze-like. They have triggers like almost like Doom, where you open a door over here and go in, and then there's a computer and it activates, and that opens a locked door on the other side of the map, and you run around and rescue stuff. And
that's pretty much like that. Yeah, I imagine you going with no or basically pretty much no lights in the base, so you only have your headlights, the spotlights, occasional explosions, but something like that. and like maybe mechanics to open, I don't want to do puzzles because I'm not really a big fan of puzzles, but some kind
one
of
thing that could
open up, blow stuff up to open a portal or shields or something. But yeah, like
some basic maze mechanics without going full-blown Jewels of the Oracle or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For power, it could be as simple as finding like their actual the internal generators or something like that, and basically just tapping a feed off of them. Finding their resource stashes to slowly repair yourself from them, or just stick them in your cargo and run away with loot.
Exactly.
Like nobody really thinks of Doom as a puzzle game. Like, I mean, obviously it has mazes, but people don't usually think of it as a puzzle game. But every once in a while, there were some tricky ass puzzles in that game.
Yeah.
The 2016 Doom, it becomes very much a resource management game.
But then you have games like Hexen, where it's basically medieval Doom, but focused more on the puzzles, but still tons of combat and traps. And I mean, if you never played Heretic or Hexen and you like games like Doom, it may seem kind of off-putting that it's more RPG medieval themed for some people, but I assure you, Hexen, the original Hexen, is absolutely a hack and slash, but it does have really deep puzzles in it as well. It's such a mind warp of a game.
You explored and found upgrades. You were always trying to find every little nook and cranny to see if there's something new to power yourself up with.
Well, we played Heretic. I think Heretic was the FPS, right? The medieval.
Yeah.
Yes.
We played.
Yep.
We played in LAN game, LAN parties. It was fun.
Yeah.
I actually made levels. You could build your own custom levels.
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
Doom and Hexen and Heretic were infamous for the custom levels.
Oh yeah, I made some of that.
Some were
cool.
mind-boggling.
Let us
So
hear
that's,
from.
Point
ahead.
being, that was a good balance on the combat and puzzle aspect.
Yeah.
For a lot of
exactly.
people.
I
And that's
wanna
where
hear
the mind
from,
starts to wander.
Yeah. Just so you can have seasage and WeaverSong and Dragon. Weaver, are you there?
Yes.
How did you know the game?
I'm here.
Okay, cool. I think you are old, right, in the game. I think you are. I mean, you are young, but in the game you were here from pretty much like 2018 or a bit later on.
Well, I got it at some point early 2020.
Oh, okay.
Was looking to Steam, trying to find something new, and actually came up my recommended. It was on sale at the time, so it only cost like $7. I thought it's worth a try.
Yeah, that happens.
It was.
Yeah, most people play it when on sale. That's totally fine. I want to buy games on sale as well. I'm not gonna lie. Unless I really want the game, then I buy it full price. But yeah.
Yep.
So you're not that old in the game like Nova. But yeah, for those who do,
That's why I'm glad developers have Patreon, so that if you do buy the game on sale and you're like, man, I wish I'd paid full price for that now.
Then you have Patreon for that.
Exactly.
So we have people in the chat are saying that you are all very helpful. That's why you are here in the chat, because Novacat and Weaver and you all are very helpful. And Weaver did the spreadsheet, the wiki, right? Whoever started the wiki, was it Weaver?
Yeah,
I think
that
it
was
might be
me.
Weaver, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whereas Tigger, who doesn't seem to be here right now,
Yeah,
is the
Tigger.
one who started the Google Docs spreadsheet with
okay.
all of the data that so many of us use.
Yeah. Not to mention forums, helping in forums and Discord and guides.
There's a
Novacat
lot of
has
very
a guide.
useful.
Yeah, very useful tools. Very useful
A
people.
lot of useful information through the Discord.
Exactly.
I feel bad about my guide because I was asked if I was going to update it, and I was sort of under the impression that the fighter update was coming soon. So I said, hey, there's a new mechanic coming up, and I'll update it then, and that was kind of 6 months ago.
By the way, this here. See here? This little guy here. This is a fighter. This is the next fighter. It's in game already, but yeah. This is a spoiler alert. But
Nice.
I also
somebody
thought,
was asking about Oh, go ahead.
No, I also thought I would be adding a fighter role before, but yeah, it got late.
Have you decided what to do regarding its charging forms and the UI? I mean, I still stick by my suggestion of it being blips on the right side near where the chat is, but the
Like
log
here.
rather.
Yeah,
But
I haven't
for the
decided that.
charge mode, there was a lot of ideas.
I haven't decided yet, but yeah, it's going to be something. It's going to be done. But maybe we'll chat again, like for collecting feedback
Yes.
for that. And what about Seasage? Seasage, when you discovered the game, when was it?
I think I'm relatively new compared to most of the people.
Yeah,
here.
I think you are. Yeah.
I mean, it's been, I think, over a year, but under 2 years, somewhere in there. But I think I really heard about the game watching Ziggy D, so a streamer that does lots of. I mean, he plays PoE, I think is his main game, but he plays lots of other games too. And he plays them enough that you get a taste of the game, but you don't really understand the full depth of the game. So at the time, I was really itching for a game like like the old Subspace type games, right, where you can fly around and just kind of shoot stuff. And so I started playing, and it really did, fulfill that kind of niche gameplay that I was looking for.
Nice.
And I was actually really surprised at the depth that was under that, because I didn't really know what to expect in terms of the depth of the game. So I probably went into it thinking like, this is going to be fun for, 20 hours, maybe something like that. And, here we are over 1,500 hours later. And, still more things to try that I want to have, on my list. And I just don't have the time in a day to try everything I want to.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. People watch the streamer, and as much as they are invested in the game, sometimes they don't show it. Most of the game, because the game is pretty deep right now. Unless you stay on the pretty much the 5 or 6 or 7 hours streams from Zarinthal. So unless you stay all the time,
those will show you the depth.
Yeah, exactly. But usually,
how long it takes to get from one side of the progression to the other.
Yeah, because it's a 6 or 7 hours or more, but because Zarinthal is pretty fast in going through all the game. Usually the streamer can stay 5 hours playing the same with not many things, because they are having fun and they are doing stuff. But Zarinthal goes through the start from the end game.
Yeah, when I was first getting into the game, like after I bought it and was playing it some, watching Zarinthal stream was one of the things that really kind of clued me into the different ways of playing. And, I didn't even realize you could do it like that. And, I was being so cautious, and he just kind of goes crazy. And it's like, wow, you can do that. And then, of course, joining the Discord is really when it opened up.
Oh, yeah.
I had lots of questions, obviously, because I'll admit, I played, a lot of PoE and things in the past where there's lots of min-maxing, lots of theory crafting, right? I come from that sort of point of view. And so you get lots of questions about mechanics and about the math behind things. And so, so Zarinthal was like, gameplay, boom, here's how it's done. Good primer, getting started.
Yeah.
And then, people like Novacat, and I'll say WeaverSong actually was like I'd say he's like the hidden gem on Discord for he'd come out of the blue and just have an answer to random questions that,
Oh, yeah.
It's like, how do you even know that sort of thing? And he would just come out of there and tell me.
It's so funny. It's so funny when people tell me, they're like, "Oh wow, you know a lot about this game," and I just laugh. I'm like, "No, not compared to some of the guys on the Discord. Like, if you want like detailed answers, or the full encyclopedia entry for any aspect of this game, A, I'm not the one to talk to, but B, join the Discord or even just throw it in the Steam forum, and you'll find way more information than I could ever possibly give." And because it comes up all the time, they're like, "You know so much," and I'm like, "I've just played a lot. I don't necessarily even play the most optimal way, but there are people who are they know way more math than I do, much higher levels of math, so they can understand these things way better than I can, and remember them much better than I can." And I'm just like, please, I'll answer the best I can, but I'm mostly going to be deferring to the Discord for the really juicy stuff.
Yeah, people do more math than me. I mean, I do some spreadsheets, but then Novacat comes with a text like this size and with all the considerations and all to oh, I did that. I think, oh, did I do that? I mean, okay, I added the possibility, but I didn't go that far. I mean, in the math.
But the outcome is there.
Yeah, the outcome is there.
Yeah, the effect sometimes. I mean, we do something on paper, but this is an action game, so when you actually put it into practice, what we actually get out of it can be very different.
Exactly.
The heavy and slow mods, for example.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When I add these things, I do mostly approximations because I can't do all the directions from all the modifiers and weapons, and for most things I do have spreadsheets, but sometimes I just go with the gut, with the feeling. I have a feeling this will work, and then I put like 1.2, and then I go tweak the values. And that's why your help is so great here, because sometimes I can't calculate everything, or else I wouldn't do the game. I wouldn't go at all. So
yeah,
this is awesome.
I can't tell you how often the friend of mine that recommended Star Valor to me, the one that doesn't usually play this kind of game, he's in so many different games that we've played, from Far Cry to Terraria and other games like those. He's just like, wow, sometimes I just watch you play games and I'm just like, I'm shocked how much you're doing it wrong and yet succeeding. And I'm just like, yeah, I play games wrong. That's what I do. I play often very differently than what other people would presume to do. I did it in that game Paladins I talk about, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to broadcast as much as I can with this game so I can just demonstrate stuff and put data out there as much as possible.
But I mean, in Star Valor, one of the ways that originally, and I mean back in 2018, maybe early 2019, people thought that using a smaller ship was somehow wrong. But
you were supposed to progress to bigger ships. That was the right way to play.
But Laious, and I don't even know if you'd done that, deliberately, knowing that you were doing it at the time, but you made it entirely possible thanks to things like the hardpoint placements and hardpoint angles, especially on larger ships, which gets more and more restricted.
Yeah.
You made it entirely possible for a small ship to just chew up a big one. Yep. And once we found that out, well, that was kind of a big sell.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, once you saw the faster side of small ships and the weaknesses of the bigger ships, it seemed like you almost think like that has to be somewhat intentional. But you never know, like how much of that extent were you aware of when you first started doing it?
Yeah, this is a thing. I usually do this because for me, some things have to make sense. So when I decided to when I started working on bigger ships, I always think like, okay, but you have to do something just different, not just better. A bigger ship needs to be slower and less maneuverable, and you have to do compromises. So it was just natural. But also when I figure out, like when I found out that people like Novacat, they loved like using small ships and like from the old games, then it became more clear for me, even though
that was
I did it because I like it that way. Like you have to have compromises.
Yeah.
You go big, you go slow, and you have more equipments, but you have no maneuverability, no roll. It all makes sense to me. But then when I realized people were actually wanted to stay in small ships more than I envisioned, then it made more sense. And actually, then I added, with that in mind. So like space pilot bonuses and stuff like that. So it was, it was kind of a two-way. I mean, kind of a working in team effort, let's say. So
very glad you did, because for many of us, that's our childhood right there.
Yeah, exactly.
It also really set the game apart from Endless Sky and Escape Velocity, where in particular turrets are all from the center of the ship and all aimed the same way. So and the hitbox differences aren't that huge compared to Star Valor. So it completely changes. One of them is an RPG where you're stacking the stats, whereas this one has a proper action game aspect, and depending on how large you want to take your ship or what you want to fly, it determines just how much of the stat versus skill and reflex balance you're going to be applying to your run.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just a heads up. I think I will open the voice chat for the rest of the channel here, the patrons, so
Sure.
they can hop in. Let me just.
Cool.
First, we should hear from Dragon. Dragon is you are new in the Discord, right? I'm not sure you are there.
Yeah, I've been here a little before, like very little before the launch.
For the launch, yeah.
I think it was like 3 days. I saw it on I think Splattercat's stream, and I was like, "Ooh, this is I definitely have to get," because
Nice.
I'm old, so like I played on the Atari, and this game reminded me of Asteroid, and I was like, this is a way better Asteroid, so I'm definitely gonna have fun with that one.
Yeah.
That's why I like not using the inertial controls on the large ships, because you drift around like you're playing one of the old space games where there didn't have inertial controls, and you have to like constantly compensate and adjust for your momentum.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways to play the game that can appeal to a different game that you may have played in your past. It's kind of an amazing just compilation in a way of all the different concepts and having them balanced around each other like that. It's pretty amazing.
Oh yeah. LadyHawk was here, but she left the channel. I would like to hear from her as well. Who else is online? Thraknar, you can join the voice, the private voice if you want. I will enable it for more people right in a second. We have a couple questions here. Zarinthal, just want to say, this is Brian Smith. Just wanted to say your version of Special Crew. When I play as Red Skull, it's the 80s, 90s metal look I pick along with the skills that go well with the pirates. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't. I actually
Definitely.
I actually just added. I mean, I think I only added the glow in the glasses. I didn't do anything else because the picture was already awesome.
Yeah, I had the sunglasses and the leather jacket and just kind of fluffed the hair out a little bit, and then he added the lighting effect around the glasses.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that worked for
it did work. So LadyHawk, you're here.
Black.
Hey, hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. I'd like to hear where did you find the game, and how did you become a player and a supporter of our little work here, if you don't mind saying.
Oh, it's a bit of a long story for me. I mean, I used to play Subspace in Extreme Games and Trench Wars, but that started dying off. So I've been looking for a different game to try and replace it. And I found loads of different ones on Steam, but none of them seemed quite right until Star Valor just popped up in the middle of them. And at this point, I've been looking for several hours, and I was about to give up. And it was like a last-minute impulse buy that I just got Star Valor. And it turns out it was a very good buy because I've got almost 500 hours in the game.
500, nice. Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
This is often happens. Like you stumble to the game, and this is something I'm constantly trying to improve to show the game for more people. But yeah, I'm glad so many cool people, awesome people are finding the game and playing and having fun because, but it's a constant struggle as a indie developer. But I think it's I think most of the people, into these games must know about it. Like for now, especially because we have more than almost 70,000 people with the game on their wish list, and hopefully this will keep increasing. So yeah, in LadyHawk also does the awesome videos like experimenting things, like much like Seasage and the Nova in well, Zarinthal is also an experimenter, like, but yeah, the LadyHawk videos are also awesome.
I try to force my hack and slash mentality into Star Valor, and
yeah,
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the beautiful thing is, every time somebody else has joined the voice chat, I'm just like, yep, they play the game completely different.
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
in here right now has a completely different play style, and they all work. They're all functional play styles within it. We all have there's so many different options at so many different levels. It's just like, and we've all tried playing the way the others play. I've tried staying in a small ship for as long as possible, and my brain's just like, I must have big boat.
Yeah.
At one point, yeah.
And lady, what was the weirdest thing you experimented on Star Valor, if you remember? I know you experimented a lot, I mean, you did.
I don't know. It's just a whole lot of random stuff that mainly came from people mentioning things on Discord that gave me ideas.
Yep.
The zip fleet is.
I'm not really.
The zip fleet is awesome. It was the fun. And also going 500, was it 500 units per second? That was.
Oh, she topped 800, I think.
800.
Yeah, last I heard it was 800.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's 800 something.
You went very fast in the Razor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Razor, right?
Oh yeah, it gotta be the Razor. Yeah. So
so she's the one that discovered the delay on the mines.
620.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was insane. But the zip fleet was
outrunning mine explosions and everything.
I remember thinking it was cool back in the day when speed boosters hadn't been nerfed yet, that I had gotten the Sanctuary up to 400 something, and then now we've got people going 800 in the current system, and I'm just like, wow, I barely scratched the surface then.
Yeah, imagine it back then.
Yeah, I thought my speed was stuck at about 600 and something until somebody on Discord mentioned that there was a skill that halves the
Oh yes, in the explore tree.
The diminishing returns.
Reduction of the speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, hang on a minute, I don't know this exists. So I had a look, and all of a sudden it was like 800. It's like, what?
Oh, yeah.
What just happened?
Yeah, we're skipping collisions. That's insane. That is that's a way to break the game. I mean, yeah, that's a good way.
Yeah, it just makes you want to have a modification for phasing based on the pirate protector, so that if you're running at 800, you simply go through something and damage them.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I kind of want to get the orange boosters and actually try and see how fast that goes.
Well, orange heavy pirate boosters would probably help you get eventually to over 1,000, I'd imagine.
You can go over 1,000 if we're not using those, then probably. And speaking of,
does the heavy booster go down to Corvette or?
The heavy booster is Corvette sized. Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey,
I was be able to put some boosters in the weapon slots.
Yeah. In the weapon slot?
Oh, those would. Yeah, but those are mostly pointing forwards, so that would be a bit of a retro thruster. Although we have wanted those, and the Q pulses are a little painful as retros.
Yeah, I would need to add a backwards weapon mount to use the quantum pulses for that.
Originally, you mentioned, originally when you were working on the railguns, you were going to have a recoil on them, remember?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And
to be honest, I was really looking forward to that because I figured that was going to fix my backwards issue entirely.
Yeah.
I'll just shoot.
And it would give large ships an excuse to need lateral thrusters if they're not using them currently. Compensate for that, so you're not constantly pushing yourself around.
Imagine a recoil on a spinal
amazing.
A spinal railgun.
And then even inertial controls could even have a recoil reduction effect.
Oh yeah.
To make them a little more desirable.
Oh, yeah. And then you'd want, of course, an item that does the actual opposite. An inertial and I was about to say I was about to say inertial nullifier, then I realized not only is that already an item in the game, but it does exactly what I don't want it to. But yes, an inertial enhancer.
Use your railguns for propulsion.
Yes, the inertial nullifier is one of those things that are not for everyone.
I like how half of us use them and the other half don't.
Yeah.
Same for thrusters.
It's
I
kind of a
usually use
split.
it for bigger ships. In Zarinthal, with
Yep.
zero,
At the small scale, they're life.
Yeah. And
It
speaking
would
of,
be interesting if you could equip an inertial stabilizer and then turn it on and off. That would be
yes.
interesting. Make it switchable.
yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, make it
I
activated
get all up on
equipment.
that.
Yeah. Speaking
'Cause I
of
love-
weird, speaking of weird builds, we have Thraknar here, which
Yes.
did some interesting ones. So one is defeating
legendary
a boss.
rammer.
Yeah, defeating a Ravager boss without weapons and not drones. And would you explain that, Thraknar? I mean, how did you find the game? You were kind of new, right, in the game?
Yeah, I just saw it browsing Steam, and I had played Star Sector before, and I was like, okay, well, this looks kind of similar in some ways, and I think it was like 40% sale, and I got on there, and I was happy to find out that it was just different enough that it was really its own kind of thing, like its own ARPG kind of space game. And then I got to the point where I unlocked some ships, and I saw the Red Skulls, and I was like, wow, they have built-in ramming. I like ramming things in game, and I figured, okay, well, whoever's developing this, they have to have some support for it. So let me see how far that goes. Apparently, no one else is really doing that like completely. So I was like, all right, let's see how far a no weapon build can go on it. And it turned out I could get to a Ravager, and I could turn off shields and kill one, and I could even eject my engine and kill one with enough boosters. So
yeah,
it was
yeah, that's awesome. To be honest, I think I wasn't expecting to be able to kill a Ravager boss with ramming, and so it was awesome to be able to do that.
If anything, I've done that for like at least 200 hours, and I learned that there's enough going on in the system between like different ships' hitboxes and other things that it's a deceptively like complex game. You don't have to get too deep into things, but there's a lot of weird interactions you might not really think would happen, and
exactly,
there's all kinds of ways to optimize how you either play or fly or what you're doing.
This is how
you could totally enjoy the game from a casual mindset, but if you want to go deep, it's all there for you.
Yeah, I like to do the game in a sort of, let's say, organic farm, because most games, space games, like I remember from like what is the Endless Sky? Endless Sky has no collisions, right? The ships do not collide.
Yeah,
right?
you fly over each other.
Yeah, so this kind of thing, I always think, I always thought that they should collide, and they should act like everything should be like have a collision like asteroids. So the way I program things is to make it organic. Like asteroids are kind of like ships, but they don't have a pilot and a shuttle and a engine.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. Yeah.
And
One day.
One
day we'll fly rocks around.
In this
collision is deadly in the early game into smaller ships. So, and that seems like it's fitting,
Yeah.
Lots of games have collision damage, but it's rare that they actually cater towards a collision build. With or without ramming weapons, you can make your ship viable as a weapon for ramming, even if it's not a pirate ship. And it's just like, it's so encouraged. It's just like, dang, this is really neat.
Yeah,
like they want me to run people over in space. This is awesome.
Yeah, just don't be a lace wing wearing lithium armor.
Oh no!
Because in that case, you're looking at about 30 impact enhancers, which was only available with a certain bug that's been stamped out. You had to stack them about 30 times before you would do a shield damage to a civilian station.
Yeah. Well,
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fun bug.
Ramming down stations.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. The unlimited ramming damage bug was fun to weed out. I was so confused.
No.
Was
it? Yeah.
Was it basically just infinite?
Yeah. You could stack it infinitely.
It had to do with you had to like unequip something and re-equip it, and it had to do with the ship enhancement and the unique character that came in. And it's already hard enough trying to figure out like what normal ramming collision damage is, because you don't really have any like set sheet in the game. And I just noticed that it kept being inconsistent the more I played, and I was like, okay, well, something's going on. And then at one point I went into a field and I just annihilated all the asteroids, so I had to pinpoint what was going on.
When Thraknar pointed me to that bug, and I started testing it too because he wanted extra confirmation. He'd already figured it out by then, though, and so it was something that I could never have realized because of the way I play. It needed at least with normal just Terran purple armor, my ship needed, I believe it was 27 stacks of plus 10% ramming damage and Thraknar equipped. So at that point, we're well over 300% ramming before I started doing damage again. Because my main problem was always that by endgame, I was doing 0, but I was taking more. When we tested the stacking, I eventually managed to get it high enough through massive mouse overuse, equipping and unequipping, unequipping, eventually to start doing damage. And then every time I would unequip and put it back on again, I would go from 3 damage to 5 damage to 7 damage. At 45 stacks, I was at 13 damage.
LadyHawk wants to know if there is a projection on when the max level will get increased. Is that basically like what you said earlier? It's planned for the future, but there's not a specific time frame on it. Or
exactly.
Do you know?
The closest thing would be like a special perk to remove the level cap, but I haven't figured out how to do this yet. So but
what if they were one at a time? Like, what if it was one at a time, like you do particular special perks? For example, completing Megastructure the first time could add like +1 or +2 to your max level, and other major feats could just slowly increase it and get enough, and the cap goes away or something.
Yeah, it's probably going to be something like that, something like a completion thing, like when you complete most things in the game. So probably maybe related to megastructures or other bosses or even the new quests that I'm going to add. So probably like that.
And is there a time frame for a number of new ships to be added to the game?
Oh yeah, new ships. This here is one. It's one of the new ships I have mentioned earlier. It's a fighter, a yacht fighter, and but I will be adding more ships slowly. I still want to add a destroyer frigate, also because I found out that we have maybe too little combat oriented frigates. I'm not sure you agree.
It's true. A lot of them are Corsairs, or even when they're not, they're close enough.
Yeah, so we need that. So Hawk answering. It is sort of a Q&A chat, but we start rumbling, and this is the first time we actually have a chat, so we're doing live. But yeah, feel free to ask questions. Anyone who has it, just post it in the chat, in the YouTube chat, and we'll try to answer it. I think I would just enable patrons to join the chat as well, since everyone talked about their experience. So let me add patrons as well, and beta testers. Well, beta testers are already okay. Then if you are a patron, you can now join our chat and tell us your experience, and if there are patrons listening. Brian, if the max level gets increased, I'd still like that the skills would still be on only 50 points. That really defines what type of role and style you play as. Minor combat. Yeah, this is the reason I haven't made a normal way of getting over 50 points in skills, because it should define the character, and if you could do every skills in the game and do everything, you would never start a new game And I really encourage people to start new games because they can have totally different experiences. And this is something this is a design choice. But as I often, as I want people, players, to be able to change their experience, to tailor their gameplay. So I will be adding this perk or some way to remove the level cap eventually. Will there be a way for us to get more respects? Yeah, that too. I think I was a little harsh there with only 3 respects, and so I probably had some way to buy 1 or 2 or more. Like an increasing price for buying respects. So yeah, this is probably coming sooner.
$100 million.
Yeah. Well,
so like 20 minutes of mining.
Yeah.
Well, with a big fleet, yeah. Oh, hey Kent, welcome Kent. Hey, Kent
so
is our new patron.
Do you think if the level cap was raised, it would raise knowledges? Like you'd have something for like if your mining goes over level 50, that it starts to just add random bonuses, almost like Space Pilot does for solo combat. Yeah. Would it raise your fleet commander points potentially for larger fleet capacity or exploration? Could you get that warp time down just a tiny bit more?
Yeah, I thought about that.
Things like that, or
yeah, maybe for each point over 50, we can just add a small bonus on some things. This can
just
be,
have it
can be
loop around a list of buffs. Like if you had Space Pilot level 55, then it would start at the beginning, and some of them would make sense to add a second stack, and then some of them probably not so much.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I certainly wouldn't mind energy efficiency. That would be nasty.
Oh yeah.
And there's only so much weapon capacity you could put on one ship or cargo space, but like diminishing as you continue to level it up, but it just keeps cycling back through the list at a slightly lower amount until it's effectively or literally 0.
Yeah.
I do know of one hard point that every ship has that could eventually be unlocked.
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
The spotlight. that would have to be a really high level thing, but it's like, you know what? I mean, we've already got power running through it, and it's enough of a floodlight to light up, asteroids a few kilometers away. Why not make it laser?
Yeah,
the invisible hard point.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So we got Kent now. Hey Kent.
Sometimes the spotlight lines up right on top of another hard point, though.
That's okay. I mean, some double barrels are vertical.
Somebody in chat was asking earlier if there were going to be smaller scale weapons like viable non-point defense. That was Jordan Smith. Any plans on a 0.25 size weapon mod to help with smaller ships? So basically like micro weapons that give a little more versatility to a smaller ship. So it could have, smaller mining lasers, smaller weapons, smaller repair beams, so that it could be, even a shuttle could be kind of mixed role.
If you point defense that would be 0.125 per gun.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe
that would be really nice with the
maybe a weapon that small would be impossible, incompatible with point defense. I think.
Yeah.
Like point defense would have to be a minimum 0.5.
Yeah, point defense is already the.
Otherwise, you're asking for some serious math bugs.
I think it's more likely I would just add more slots for ships in general, so we can install more.
Because we have that cute little yellow small laser.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to suggest that the small laser. We have some cores that are by default 0.5. The mining beam just happens to have continuous on it.
Yeah.
And the small laser, if those were available, people could craft them. It would be 0.25 if you then point defensed it.
Exactly.
But there is the fact that right now stacking multiple small weapons builds up a lot more heat and energy use than adding multiple cores. It will increase slightly, but there's a runaway effect on your costs.
It does, yeah.
So would it be like, would there be some way to offset that, like a micro weapon perk or buff that somebody could get that would help to kind of lighten the load a little bit?
What if you just used the no dolo modifier that's already there, or reduce the spice on that?
That too.
Yeah.
What if it took 0.25 off the final size?
Maybe.
No, wait, that's a bad idea, because then we'd have size 0 point defenses.
Yep.
I've made, yeah.
But some consideration to micro weaponry could be cool. I mean, we've talked about how some people prefer the smaller ships, and I mean, to the point that it adds variety, but not to the point that it gets really ridiculous.
Yeah, if I end up adding the small laser craftable, I will have to change the sound, because the sound is annoying. I mean, the small laser sound. But yeah, this is something we can think of. I also want to add the
decent variety. You can
point
get
defense
decent
missiles
variety on smaller ships. My current arena one is a Phantom with 7 different weapons on it. Just mix of torpedoes for multi-volleys, Gatling quantums for general use, and a slow charge quantum bound to the same key as my barrier.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also want I need to add the custom crafted faction items like Vangi blasters, and this is it's the sort of thing that gets lost in my list, and but yeah, maybe I'll at least have to add it in a Megastructures update or something real soon. Because
I hadn't suggested it for slow before, but the slow modifier could be one of the sources of making weapons smaller. You're removing a lot of the rapid fire structures, the cooling required, barrels required, things like that. So it could be one of the ways to reduce the size.
Maybe. Yeah.
I can probably write up an alternate suggestion for that one.
Yeah, maybe. D92C. Is there plans to add more weapon types? Yes. At least the scatter gun, or like a shotgun, like a modifier, a scatter gun modifier. This is going to be added. I don't recall other weapons that I wanted to add.
Dare I ask if you want to discuss the thumbs up or thumbs down on Vangi cores?
Vangi cores. What do you mean?
Vangi, if we could start crafting Vangi core weapons.
Oh, he did just mention that.
Yeah, I did said I want to add that. Yeah.
Oh, you added that to the list?
Yes. It is on the list.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, it is on the list. It just sometimes it gets down the list, and I kind of forgetting. But,
in response to D92C and Paul Sim, most likely a combination of your burst and the shotgun mod you just mentioned would allow for swarm missiles by default.
Oh yeah, the missiles,
like a cluster pack or scatter pack missile.
Yeah, the missiles.
Whereas for cruise missiles, if the heavy modifier, I remember you thumbed up a couple of suggestions regarding larger missiles having more health. So a cruise missile could be a missile larger, like a peacemaker, and given the heavy mod to make it even more survivable.
Yeah, the missile is going to receive lots of modifications, because there are many. I mean, the cluster thing, they can burst into many small missiles, like after, like a little before. It's, how is it called when it's burst into many smaller missiles?
Multiple warheads, or for ballistics, it's multiple independent entry vehicles.
Yeah, MIRV. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
and that actually plays into what Brad Daddy X asked earlier, which is, or mentioned. They said that they'd love some kind of flare ejection device to dodge missiles. Are there any options for counter missiles so that we could shift the burden of anti-missile from weapon capacity via point defense into an equipment-based option like Elite Dangerous's chaff scatter?
Yeah,
that disrupts missile tracking.
That could be cool.
Or...
Yeah, I read it before, but I forgot to answer. Yeah, this could be a thing as well, like an equipment.
Or if we eject junk, out of our cargo bay instead of.
Well, it could be junk powered, like junk. You use it as an ammo, or a junk ejector. Yeah, there you go.
I think that would make a lot of people happy in alleviating the weapon burden of having to have point defense everywhere they go. I think they'd a lot of people like me, the barbar types that just like to Diablo style hack and slash their way through things would get a kick out of that. Just being able to add more direct damage, more damage oriented weapons.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that would balance super evenly. It would have to be one big piece of equipment, I think, to justify it.
Yeah, we can see about that, but the sizes and
or I
whatever.
guess it would be like the more you put into it, the better chance that you do intercept the missile, some kind of a fail rate.
Yeah.
I'd love to see alternate warheads, instead of the usual explosive ones that perhaps when they get close enough just detonate as a bomb-pumped laser and just, emit a short-lived beam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
That way they wouldn't all have knockback and you'd have insane variety.
Anti-missile missiles. Point defense missile.
That would be fun. Little missiles flying over others.
Anti-beam aerosols.
We're going to have a tractor beam missiles.
Oh yeah, one of the modders made something
Tugs
like
at
that.
the enemy.
Yeah, one of the modders, I think it was Plantling, I think. He was made. He did make a mod like it holds the missiles in place. It's like a tractor beam thing. They're pretty cool. I'm not sure he launched it, but
one nice thing about the game is there's so many areas that it can develop that you can still flesh out so well.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's a really open
nice.
platform for all kinds of things.
It's not 100% nice. It's had its drawbacks because it's so many things to add. I'm joking, but it is very, very cool. You can keep adding stuff, many things, and can keep improving. Any aspect of the game. To answer Mark Oliver, can you put a ship size filter on when starting a game? Yes, this is on the list as well, like to sort thing to sort ships by size or by class or whatever. This will help a lot.
Yeah,
especially because we're
general
general
along the line of general inventory management.
Yeah, that too. Because we are getting more ships and more ships, so it's going to be. It's already a big, it's already a big screen here. But yeah.
Martin C. Yeah, Martin C is asking about flat cannons. Do you know that you can craft them that way? You can use, for example, a regular cannon, add explosive point defense, and if you want, you can even add a time fused so that it'll blow up roughly where your cursor was if you're still going in the same vector you were going at the time.
Yeah.
It won't have the shotgun style scatter effect yet, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
So it is currently possible.
You can craft it. Yeah. If you as Novacat said, is explosive and timed fuse, right? Yeah, in point defense. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
the
something
name even defaults to call it a flat cannon.
Yeah, it
does. Yeah.
One of the fun things about it is that if you add in give yourself a little boost of speed before you fire it, you can slam it onto other ships further away despite the loss of range. This allows you to use the flat cannon. They're 0.5 if you do a single core, and it'll be strong enough to strip the repair drones off a capital ship.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can
without having to slow down.
Yep.
You just curve right off. Yeah, it's a very effective countermeasure for that.
Paul Sim, I'm looking forward to making my own station with its own supporting fleet. Yeah, you'll be able to do that. As I said before, your main fleet, I'm not sure if it will increase in size, but you have other fleets which you own, to protect your bases. So you may eventually warp into a sector which is at war. So one of your stations are being attacked. You have your fleet attacking it. Your other fleets to protect it, and besides your current fleet, the one you are actively using. So the other fleets are probably going to create. Probably manage itself. The station itself will create its ships and. When they are destroyed, they will buy the ships, as long as the station have money and this sort of stuff. So yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Are we going to get law enforcement in the game?
What? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Like a law enforcement in the game? Are we going to get anything like that?
Oh, more sentinels and things like that.
Yeah, law enforcement. Yes, sentinels,
Yeah,
like police,
like
or
police. Yeah.
Neutrals.
Yeah, but some people asked about it as also because sometimes they're just being attacked by marauders and the sentinels are a bit far away. Yeah, I want to add that. I want to make it more like the factions there, the sectors that are controlled, they are differentiate themselves from independent and no control. Yeah, they need more police and more sentinels flying around. Definitely does.
No, excellent.
And that kind of ties into the station overhaul that you brought up a while back on stream about giving stations a little bit more power, defenses, maybe small fleets.
Yeah. This
it would work into the quests.
Yeah, maybe quests.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, this is going into the station building system where you'll be able to invest in a station. You don't have to own it, but you can invest. I haven't decided how exactly, but you put some money in the station so they can build stuff and improve their defenses and hire build more ships and either it's your station or not your station. You'll be able to just improve things in the sector in a way.
Kent's request would also allow for things like smuggling, not just of goods, but also once the passenger system is in. If you are carrying, for example, 12 Red Skull pirates, maybe the local syndicate patrol vessel not be entirely happy about that and would rather take it off your hands.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like forbidden or illegal items,
that could
contraband.
Be by faction.
Yeah, by faction, exactly. Yeah, like Vengi would have
get offered contraband missions from the pirate stations.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to take that Terran armor.
Oh yeah,
everybody wants Terran armor.
Everybody wants Terran armor. Yeah, exactly.
D92C says EMP would be cool. I think in regards to counter missiles, maybe something like what 3030 Death War has, where it's an upgrade that you buy and it's a cooldown, and you hit the key, and any missiles within a small radius of your ship will get destroyed, but then you have to wait for the cooldown. So, you could get hit in between.
You could add continuous for that and make it a short-lived field around you.
It's more like a quantum pulse in 3030 Death War, but it would be point defense quantum pulse.
Yeah,
like we have in Star Valor.
Exactly. So instead, the EMP could be a short-lived field, as in for a few seconds, depending on how it's crafted, basically be a damaged zone around you. The ramming ships would love it for their own purposes as well, of course.
Yeah.
And then that leaves the opening of the EMP for something to be an equipment-based variation that's more like a radar jammer that just causes the missile to veer off course as the equipment alternative versus a weapon alternative.
Yeah.
Redirection.
Ion on more flavors.
Oh yeah, Ion needs more flesh out. Yeah, more things. Definitely
Ion is officially on the drawing board.
Yes.
In case anybody hadn't caught on to that yet, Ion is on the drawing board. It's it's getting love. It's getting attention.
Yeah.
Because I used to run a Titan with a lot of Ion back in the day just to slow the small ships down that used to buzz and swarm around. But now there's enough other alternatives and weapons to deal with the small ships. So Ion kind of fell by the wayside. And along with shield absorption. And I think once the two of those get reworked, people are going to see a very unique dynamic start to work its way into the game.
Yeah, exactly. We have more questions.
And smaller ships would especially want to see small ones. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just post him building warp gates to allow cross galaxy networks so you can link your station. Yeah, definitely. The station building will need this. You will either have to you either need a big warp range or gates to travel between sectors. The idea is that the infinite galaxy is not needed anymore because the others, the current sectors will evolve, will change, will so you will need like a way to travel from one side of the galaxy to the other to either do stuff or protect their stations or whatever. So yeah, totally.
Yeah, once the control of a system can change hands and get rebuilt and establish trade networks and get stronger and, then become a juicy target, get attacked by the other faction. And it creates that whole, like you said, living universe. Then, yeah, I mean, that was the whole point of the Infinite Galaxy and why it's experimental, is because it was needed to be able to push a save as far as you can possibly go.
Exactly.
Since there are so many aspects of the game that don't renew, they don't reset, they don't change ongoingly. So that'll be a hard thing for me to work away from, because I always choose Infinite Galaxy just as default. And so it'll be interesting, but that'll kind of be I guess one of the outside measurements of when we can finally get rid of the Infinite Galaxy without anybody feeling impacted any kind of way. That'll be I think that'll be a really big milestone.
Yeah, it will be difficult because you love the way to explore infinite galaxies, but there will be a point where I'm not sure I will remove it, but we won't need it anymore.
Yeah, because there will always be some people, even if it's not as supported, there will always be some who just want to drive a giant line down the universe.
Yeah, I remember. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was the Big Red Boat, who it's a streamer who he was like 2,000 sectors, parsecs to the left or right.
Yeah.
So 2,000. I mean, well, that's far. I mean. I never done
about 2 years ago. That was one of my saves. I had not 2,000, but it was a little over 1,000, I think, because I just kept flying straight sideways in one direction, and I was like, "This is awesome." It just keeps throwing the RNG just kept throwing completely different distributions at me, and it was just like, it was crazy to see. Like, sometimes you'd have within your warp range, you'd have 30 or 40 level 52 dark sectors, and then you'd jump again and there'd be none. And you're just like, you're out Ravager hunting, so you hit like this jackpot and then it dries up again. And it's like every 100 parsecs it was it was like being in a completely different role of system.
Was that your save that took about 10 minutes to load before the optimization?
Yeah, that was one of my original way too big saves that took a long time.
I used it for testing.
It was a Titan. It was a decked out Titan. I didn't even really. That was before I really got into pushing Reputation really hardcore. That one was just I was just flying around, seeing how many different systems I could explore, and it eventually bottlenecked the crap out of probably the hard drive first, but the CPU seems to be one of the biggest victims currently.
Yeah. So more questions. The 92C, is there any plans to add wreckage to the ships to destroy? I personally dislike that it's just a big boom and then there's nothing. Yeah, I originally intended to add some wreckage for you to be able to scavenge, like something similar to the ship graveyards. And I still want to do that, but it's a bit more complex visually because, big ships especially, it's a kind of a tricky thing to do visually, but yeah, I want to do that. Chuck Markey.
Yeah, I remember it.
Go ahead.
I think you'd mentioned that about a year ago about, and it was just like, when it comes, it comes.
Yeah, I was
like
testing
it would be cool, but
I was testing the wreckage from the ship graveyards, and but yeah,
I think it was faction wars, because there were so many ships getting blasted in one place that you'd said it would be cool if like debris fields. Ship graveyards at the time, but debris fields would spawn out of those, and I was like, that would be cool, but it sounds like it could get really hairy on the on the system side.
Yeah, so but yeah, it's something I want to do. I'm not sure if this has been asked or touched on, but will we ever see a multiplayer fighting arena style? Yeah, multiplayer is like I said before, probably something for later on, but except the local multiplayer, like I said. So, but arena, it will be fun. Yeah, indeed. Ultra Grim, love the game, keep it up. Thank you, my pleasure.
And then, you know, later on down the road, we'll have where you and another player can spawn in 1,000 parsecs from each other and eventually meet in battle.
Oh yeah.
Full faction versus faction war. One day. One day.
One day, maybe. Yeah.
Poor streamers' final words being, "What the fuck was that?"
Oh look, the Vengi.
Jim Raynor.
Oh, I thought the Vengi had won, but there's still some resistance. There are still rebels. So is there? Where was the ship wreckage? Would be cool. Could be done like a single-use scavenge mode. Yeah, it would be like a single-use. Yeah. Having ships when destroyed, leaving debris. Okay. Same thing. Power vampires and disruptors.
Oh.
What would that be? Oh, look, Severance Pain.
Well, Power Vampire would be an energy drain system as opposed to pure ion. Probably weaker, but gives you back.
Stealing energy from the enemy, huh?
Yeah.
Whereas a disruptor is probably what we've been talking about for the improved ion system.
Yeah, exactly. Something that has a lasting after effect, but does a blunt damage up front.
This is a possibility, from like stealing energy from with ion. We'll see. Like maybe a modification for ion. We'll see. Bread ducks.
Yeah, one that
bread ducks. Throwing asteroids with tractor beams onto bigger opponents would be fun. Well, you can do that. You can tractor beam asteroid and throw it in the ships, but it's not very effective.
Yes.
Even with collision damage on, you're not looking at a big dent. But it would be funny if there was like a combat tractor beam that was a little more aggressive.
There's one little thing, little trick for the newbies that you can do early on with a tractor beam if you want to go hunt, say, a station, is you can use the tractor beam and a little bit of nudging to place rocks over or right around where the turrets of the station are, because those are static. And if you block their line of sight, you will be reducing how many are firing at you.
Yeah, you can do.
Asteroids make great cover.
Their way.
Somebody said they use tractor beams to pull enemies into the front of their Taurus with its cross beams, and I thought that's brilliant.
Oh yes, you definitely.
I think somebody mentioned doing that a long time ago with a sanctuary, but I never actually thought about it with the Taurus. It would be a lot more. Probably a lot more functional.
With a sanctuary, when you use the slow mode, for most people that's shift plus the activation key, that will prevent them from getting away. So you just get them into the jaw, and the guns that are all inside pointing.
Then you fly to them. Yeah. But with the Taurus, you could do it the other way around. Draw them to you.
Yeah.
If the plan is to have
sounds cruel.
A smaller living area, it would make it harder to add things like black holes, pulsars, and Dyson spheres. Yeah, that's planned as well for new sector types, like having a black hole and stuff. Dyson sphere would be awesome to make some, but
and alternative directions for the asteroid rushes.
That
they're all
this
right
is easy.
Right
that's easier to do.
Yeah.
Probably need to do that. More passive weapon.
You could go full Frogger with one where there's some going one way, some going the other way, in like a nice set pattern.
Yeah, maybe.
Spirals and
saturation in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Yep. They all just collide in the middle and destroy each other.
Actually, that'd be a dangerous place to be.
Yeah.
Eye of the tornado.
Yeah. I'm all for pushing.
Nice little black holes in the middle of such sectors for a mining ship to go and collect a nice, tasty singularity for crafting with.
More passive
two
weapon.
ships dueling in a maelstrom of asteroids.
What would be more passive weapons? Would be like a
damage
weapon?
fields, or maybe the altered like orbital drones if they're firing on their own, things like that. Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
I would say drones are a big part of what they're going to be looking for.
Yeah.
I am all for
not just with
CPU
laser beams, but
as I can always lower the game options too. Yeah. The game kind of struggles on Zarinthal games, like when you have 2,000. How is it? How negative is it? Your reputation with the Vangi?
Didn't you reach -3 million?
I've finally crossed -3 million Vangi reputation.
3 million. Okay.
There was noticeable CPU lag. I had to to dig a little bit to determine that it was in fact CPU lag, because most of the metrics that I use are just a single line for CPU usage, and it would show 40 or 50%, but you look and it's actually loading every other thread because it doesn't hyper-thread. Yeah. But it's loading every other thread 80 to 90% flat, just like the entire time, and there's really not much more that it could possibly allocate to the game before you get diminished. It's like this reverse cascade where it's like it drops its own load by trying to go higher than that.
Yeah, the main game thread it works in one core. You cannot hyper-thread it. But so eventually it's going to lag the CPU, But,
yeah, I don't know any game that does that. So if you're looking to find your bottleneck and it's your CPU, then most software that you use isn't going to be very accurate unless you actually go in.
Yeah.
I can't remember, was it HW Monitor that was able to break down individual cores for me? But I don't know. But after 2 million, I mean, it could happen sooner where you get CPU lag just because you're not killing the waves fast enough. But I mean, like you said, this is an unusual case. Most people don't go that far with their negative reputation.
Yeah. Also,
but my goal was to try to overcome it by just killing them fast enough.
Yeah.
That's been an interesting. That's an interesting new gameplay challenge all by itself.
Oh yeah, but then the issue becomes the loot, right? The too many loot.
The loot starts to pile up.
Yeah. This is another issue. So we need the loot filter to help on that. So.
If we had a loot filter on the ship where it would actively pick loot up, but then automatically scrap or destroy what's not useful, then I could just go through and I could literally clean up the system.
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to
from that point of view,
or auto scrap or whatever. It's going to be tricky to do, but
really hard to do.
I want to add
one thing that would make that easier for me personally would be if we could turn off the auto sort on loot pickup. It's kind of a weird, super tiny little detail, but that would actually make it like I could destroy stuff 3 times faster, so I could just keep picking it up and
disable auto sort.
It's such a weird tiny little thing to ask for, but it's like if I could just click a button and turn that off just for those battles.
Well,
it would be like this. It would be this massive difference in how fast I could clean up that loot between waves.
Well, once you have a loot filter, you don't need that anymore.
Exactly. Whitelist, blacklist options would completely solve it.
Yeah, it will destroy things for you. Just But more.
But I feel like that's not the highest not exactly the highest priority right now.
Well,
until more people get to that kind of a and there are people in Steam and chat here and there that do say that they're also pushing towards a similar goal, but a lot of them are still well under the 500,000 mark. So unless they're on DDR3 machines, they're probably not bottlenecking yet.
No, they're not.
At least not from the first couple waves.
But the game needs a loot filter anyway. I mean, not only for for end game, but most people. They want a loot filter, but there's a point where you really have too many stuff to manage, and it becomes tedious. So it's not down. It's not the highest, but it's going to get soon to get in the game.
It's not often you hear a lot of across the board complaints from the whole miners guild, but that is one thing I think that they're all pretty much looking for.
Casey Stinkin said, could do a virus type missile, like it infects the other ship. Yeah, maybe some like biological weapons. Yeah, could be
interesting.
One thing,
or even a computer virus
that
can offline them.
Yeah,
there really isn't any status effects in games, and you don't really have to go too far into that with Star Valor, but that would be interesting to have some kind of overtime effect.
Yeah,
and I think that's what Novacat's kind of talking about with the new Ion system, is that it will have one of the ideas that I heard, I'm not sure exactly where everything's landed, but one of the ideas was that there would be an after effect, like even after you've stopped firing it at them, that there is still this residual ionization that still has an impact on their ability to recharge shields and generate power.
The idea is that you would effectively stack up the ion, basically the ion drain effect, and things like DOTs from constant firings. This would also affect something like the eventual heat rework, where things like flamethrowers would be just permanently heating you up.
Exactly.
As long as they're on you,
Once you have
and
that
then the
ion
residual
effect,
heat and fire just slowly whittles down, depending on the model, depending on how long it's supposed to last.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, even once you get off them.
Yeah, exactly. They're still a little bit hot, and then it slowly cools. So it basically creates a template for all kinds of ongoing potential status effects and damage over time and things like that.
If it's based on the actual damage of the weapon, what that allows you to do is things like continuous beams will very, very rapidly stack up ion, but it's a large number of very small drains, whereas a larger, say, ion railgun type weapon is going to be a single hit with a very large initial drain, but keep a substantially larger effect for a longer amount of time.
Right.
Yeah, this is the sort of stuff that it can be really cool, like stacking effects, stacking debuffs. And I have a way to add those already in the activated equipment, so it's something can add real soon.
Oh, activated heat sinks to counter something like a flamethrower. I think the nitro effect, it's already a mechanic that reduces the weapon needed to fire. So if activating that also, or maybe it's a different module, module that feeds off of nitro that counters the ship system heating. I think that's, again, the template for that is pretty much already in the game right there. So once the other aspects are added in, it's just a matter of creating the extra lines to justify different effects to that system.
Yeah, one of my favorite ideas for flamethrowers is we want to find a use for iron, because really, iron, speaking of loot filters, I keep thinking if we can just smelt the iron, just dump all of that reactor heat into that, use the heat meters on the actual on the left side of the UI as effectively an ammo tank. When it's ready, it flashes overheat when it's ready, and as you fire it, you're just losing the heat until it's out. Then you slip in another iron ingot, heat it up until it's ready, and fire it out, because that way you'd have basically like a giant liquid metal squirt gun to transfer your heat to enemies.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That
would be cool.
Would also be hilarious if metal in cargo had some sort of a role in alleviating heat up. Like somehow the heat could be shunted into the bricks of metal,
in the piles
whatever
of metal
form it's
in your cargo.
Yeah.
Just touch it.
You get out of a fight, you get
it
back to the
it wouldn't be
centers.
much, but it could buy you just enough time to survive.
Of course, the one problem with that is that you dock at a mining station after a very large fight, and you try to sell only to realize that you have a single size 200 ingot of mixed crap taking up your entire cargo space.
Yeah.
What alloy is that? I don't know.
I don't know, but we'll have to cut out the back hatch.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be.
I like the idea of armor shunting. Shunt all your heat to your armor. Reduces the damage resistance slowly, but as it heats up, and then
that's kind of how
it cools, it brings it back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how I imagine it now. Is like your ship dissipating heat from the weapons over time. It works a little bit like if you overload, it doesn't work as fast. But if you just have heat sinks and you don't overload the weapon, it cools faster when you have more heat sinks. What I think of it as, even without heat sinks, it is shunting that heat into your hull and out into space. It's just that adding heat sinks creates more channels for that heat to flow through, therefore it's more effective. So I think, if we had something more like an active heat sink system that was able to, shunt excess power into cooling or something like that, once we have the whole ship being able to overheat in different ways other than just weapon fire, I think, there's definitely an avenue for something like that.
For a given mass, the greater the surface area, the more radiative cooling you're capable of. So whatever micromaterials we'll have in the future, say by the time of the setting of the game, could be, and this would also go for some of the anti-radar and stealth effects, it could have massive folds, a bit like the inside of your brain or some of these structures that they're doing with graphene.
Yeah.
If these have excessive amounts, This could be one of the reasons that things like solar panels and just the radiative heating of your ship are both much, much better than what we see on the current ISS.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Davido the Grey, are still planning on having a heat overload mechanic on the shields, engines, and weapons to prevent you from running them at max. Yes, this is going to be the reactor heat, which Nova mentioned earlier, I think. I still want to do that. It's going to be some kind of heating for your reactor, and which will be attached to some effects from weapons, like we were mentioning, like DOTs, like damage, something that will keep adding heat to your generator. So yeah, keeping your all your energy at max will still be possible, but it's going to be harder to keep unless you do some.
It'll make you vulnerable to things like the flamethrowers.
Yeah, the flamethrowers. Yeah, something. Weapons like that will hurt you more. Make iron instead of scrap. Use it for proximal ammo generation. Yeah, the ammo replicator, that it's going to need some more functionalities. Maybe use any from either iron or scrap or whatever. So maybe I'll change that because scrap is kind of valuable now. I think we are getting to the end of the stream. So if you have more questions, feel free to ask, because we'll try to answer it and probably wrap it up. It's almost 3 hours of streaming. It was pretty fun, so I'm kind of getting tired, and I haven't played anything. It was just a background, just a talk, and I'll show more stuff of the game in other devlogs. What about okay, actually for a long time iron was used. Yeah, it was iron for the ammo replicator. It was changed to scrap metal because scrap metal is something anyone can get. So that was the thing I thought about. So you can get scrap from from any debris fields, but in iron you have to mine asteroids. So but scrap is so valuable now that you don't want to spend it on in ammo. So people are not.
Are you planning on changing scrapping items into scrap then? Because you get iron from scrapping.
Yeah, you get iron. I'm not sure that, because the idea is this scrap, the crafting things, you have to go out to get it, because if you can scrap items, you can buy items in the station and scrap it to get scrap metal, and then you can craft, and then you can scrap, and then you can get scrap to get scrap metal. Although in the name it makes sense, but in the game it makes scavenging a bit more useless, I think. The idea would be to change the names, because the names are confusing.
Or add a decimal so that when you scrap an item, then you only get like 0.1 scrap out of it.
Exactly. So like keep piling up so to get scrap eventually.
But that could get a little weird too, though.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But at a certain point, like a small chance of scrap can be done.
Yeah,
at least to make sense instead of iron. What about a ship or base system that can recycle scrap to give you a chance of get something like the perk that does it already, but costs something to activate? Yeah, like a junk destroyer or something like that. Yeah, maybe like a incinerator.
Would the new fleet that you get, would they send it to the mining stations? If you when they mine, would they automatically go to the station, or do we have to?
Oh yeah,
is that something in works?
Yes. The fleet, your fleet ships. The idea is that you have a checkbox, so you can order them to dock in your ship and unload the cargo in your ship, or in your nearest station. So they would just mine it and drop it there. Yeah, I still haven't figured out how what are the checkboxes I'm going to add? Like you dock at a station and mark this station can be dropped items. I don't know, something like that. Then your fleet ships will drop stuff there. Still have to figure out, but yeah, this is planned.
Like maybe you have to pay like a percentage, like you have to start a contract with the station so that a certain percentage of anything left there, if you sell it there, then it's like taxed or something, just to kind of compensate for how much automation it adds.
Yeah, it kind of gets to the point where it's too much automation, but it's part of the game, so yeah.
But that would only be if you sold anything. If you end up using it all for crafting, then you didn't store it there for very long, so no big deal.
Yeah.
Last question. I've probably asked this suggestion before. When you're docking, is there going to be anything like that to dock in?
What do you mean?
To the station?
When you're docking?
Because I played 30,000, the game that you recommended as well. I played that, and that you actually docking as well, docking to the station. That'd be quite cool to get like an effect.
Oh, you mean the effect?
Oh, like a visual for it?
Oh, yeah.
Visual. Yeah. That'd be really cool. Even if you made some sound effects, like
it would be
really good.
It would be immersive. Yeah. It's a bit tricky because the way the game is like dock and ships coming in and going, it becomes a bit different. A bit difficult, but it'll be cool. Yeah.
On Elite Dangerous, that's all I did when I first played it years ago. I just locked in and out and opened up my surround sound, and I was just blown away. I'm just a geek like that, but
Manually docking in Elite Dangerous was one of the most fun things to learn.
Yeah.
Just getting rid of your auto docking module altogether and being like, no, I'm going to do this manually in and out every time. Oh man, it'll mess with you. It's tough.
The Elite Frontier, which was one of my inspirations way back then. It was insane to dock to a manual dock. It was, you have to really, and the 3D wasn't good. It's I don't know. The
worth
30
it though. It saves you a module slot.
Well,
yeah, and it's faster. You don't have to wait.
Valor. You just need the right ship.
You also don't have to wait in line if you'd manually dock. You can just cut in front of everybody and dock, and as long as you don't ram anyone, they don't care.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Popular stations, you might wait 5 minutes just for your turn to dock, and you're like, nah, turn off the auto dock and just cruise in. And they're like, hey, all right, whatever.
Because I know that's going to cause more problems, right? When you've got someone chasing you and you want to save at the station, if you have like a manual dock, would that just... It's going to cause... I've thought about it all night. I was like, if you do that, it's going to affect...
There's a commitment effect, right? Like, do you become invincible when you start docking? Do you become invincible when you finish docking? Or is there like this progression where you have like extra dodge because you're...
Yeah, basically the game becomes less arcadey, let's say that, like that. Because you can't just go there and dock.
So it would be cool to have that transition, like... anyone who's played the original Star Fox, that launch screen, you're coming out of the base is like a real hype moment,
that was awesome.
Yeah.
That's when the adrenaline starts to fire, so it's kind of like that here we go moment of undocking.
Yeah.
It would be cool, but...
It's not practical.
Not practical. No, not for the game,
nice
maybe.
to see.
But yeah.
There might be a way, but it's really hard to imagine.
Yeah.
If you're in that Titan, the station undocks from you. So.
Yeah, it's a mutual agreement at that point. We're separating.
Exactly. Yeah, this is
divorced.
One of the reasons it becomes hard to do. Because a Rising Sun would never dock in a station. It's just it would need some bridges like merging or something like that. But yeah, it becomes a bit.
Dalataj says maybe no docking while in combat, and I would say maybe to allow docking while in combat, but then the station finds you because you're a jerk for dragging your problems on. Or they could just deny you docking. They're like, no way, we're not getting involved in your fight. Go take care of your business first and then come back.
Could depend how friendly they are.
Like you could save, you could fly by and save, but you can't just dock and get out of trouble for free unless it's somebody that they're hostile with,
or if they're allied to you, it's like, no, come on in, we'll help.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But if it's neutral or just barely friendly, they're like, we don't know, man. Like, we're friends, but you're kind of being a jerk right now.
It's tough. Yeah. Even if it was like a simple thing like they done on the 30,000, that new game that I've literally just only played it a couple of hours, and I just liked the docking and the music was wow. That was good.
Which one?
30,000 Odyssey, is it? Odyssey. Was it Odyssey? I can't remember what it was called now. I have to go downstairs and have a look.
Well, there's Death War Space Odyssey.
That's that one.
3030 Death War. Yeah, that game
Yeah.
is. When I saw your name, I was like, oh, Kent. Yeah, I assumed that was a 3030 reference.
Nice.
So yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool, and the music's very cool. Is there going to be any more music in the game?
Oh yeah.
Like any synth? It's subjective, in it. Music. Not everyone likes different things. I like all sorts of music, rock thing, especially when it's to space. Synth and all that is pretty cool. If there's any more coming to that.
Yeah, I need
great.
more
Symphonic
music.
power metal.
I need more music. Yeah.
The Hunter Fleet soundtrack,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fleets. Yeah, they need more music. I'm
8-bit
definitely adding
Very-
more. Yeah. We
Yeah,
will
I
be able
definitely
to
listen
craft.
to power metal
Yeah, power
when I'm
metal,
not
yeah.
streaming live.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Enjoy it.
Will we be able to craft
man.
all ships or just some? Pretty much all ships.
Ah.
Still, just haven't figured out how I'm going to do that. How I'm going to, make available the blueprints for ships. But yeah,
hmm
that would be. You can already have it. There are some mods that in the forums which enables you to get for blueprints for ships. But yeah, it will come to the game.
If it's scrapped too, it'll be a matter of how do you get that second lace wing? That probably
Yeah.
won't want to be gotten.
Oh, well, you can have two lace wings.
How much is it?
No,
No.
If
No, you
you're
cannot.
Donny
cannot,
components,
yeah. I
Two
think
Lao
I made-
shoes.
I think I added a constraint on that. If you are ending the stream, thanks everyone. Good info. Nice to hear from you all. Yeah, I'm about to end it. Yeah, as fun as it was, but
All right.
getting tired. Looking forward to a limitation to the glow. Yeah, or a charged mining laser. It turns my Reaper into a sun. Yeah, it does. Yeah, special crafted mining lasers or whatever you put in a Reaper. It can go really bright. Yeah. I'm probably also adding it as an option to tone it down the explosions and the what's it called, the muzzle flash. Yeah, I need to
Like when I fill my Zeus with all the plasma flat cannons,
yeah.
and it actually starts to cause eye fatigue after a few
Exactly.
minutes of watching that many different explosions all over the screen.
I think this is
Yeah, if you could just turn the brightness down on just the explosions, like make that one adjuster that you can mess with, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, this is one of the issues of such customizable game. Yeah, you can make insane things, even with eyes to hurt your eyes. Michael Kramer, maybe a priority scripting thing like the combat from FF12 Final Fantasy would be nice for gunners and the fleet ships. Priority script. Oh yeah,
The gambit system was pretty complex though.
Like stance or like aggressive, this kind of stuff. I guess. So yeah, if so.
FF12 system had was way deeper than that, which is why it got complex. It was things like if this recently happened, or if a teammate does this particular thing, do this action, and it was stuff like that.
Interesting.
So there were the general stances, but then you could really get into depth.
Yeah, maybe too complex. No, I don't know. I'd have to take a look at that. Yeah, maybe no docking.
Well, and if you look at the and if you look at the 2.0.5 patch notes, there are improvements to the AI coming currently. So
this is the.
If you wanted to elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, I basically when for gunners or pilots, when they are aiming, they have a error system, which makes them aim errorsly, like for in the sides instead of accurate. So what I'm doing is for ships that are mining or repairing other ships, the error system is 40% as effective as instead of 100, which means they miss less. They will not giggle as much.
I think it was.
They will not giggle.
I think it was John Carmack that said when you're programming enemies in a video game, you're not teaching them how to hit a target. Getting an AI to shoot a target, that's easy. It's teaching them how to miss often enough to make the
exactly.
You're teaching them how to miss so that the difficulty becomes adjustable.
Exactly.
That's
So the miss factor is now 40% for mining and repair. So they, even if you add a someone with 0 gunner, it will miss asteroids a lot more, because it makes sense, it's a stationary target, so you need to hit better. And repairs just for gameplay, just for being, just for the, for it to feel better for players. If you add more ships to be able to construct, can you reduce the number of ships available at stations to encourage building, even low-level ones? Yeah, this is one thing I feel for equipment as well, because you need to, when you can craft them, you at the same time you have many equipment in the station. So I need to balance this better, because if you have lots of things, you just buy it instead of crafting. So this needs work as well. And for the ships, something similar will have to be made.
Like the extreme depression of finding another orange light laser when killing a Ravager.
Yeah, orange light laser. Yeah, this can be depressing. If you could prioritize mining, fighting, repairing, for example. Yeah, there are the ship roles, the mining role, the fighting, and the repairing. You already have this, but I guess you mean for gunners, or yeah. You're saying combat mining lasers are getting buffed? Not really, because it only counts as mining when you are actually attacking an asteroid. So when they are using mining lasers for combat, it works as before. So it's only when fighting or aiming at an asteroid that
maybe once we can force our way into that hangar in those battleships, they can get the bonus from the inside.
Yeah.
Little extra critical damage, can't miss.
Yeah.
No bad targets. And then it looks like player fleet ships are getting a pathfinding buff. Is that just for player fleet ships, or is that going to be all AI?
Which one? Which part?
They're getting stuck on asteroids.
Oh yeah.
Is that more of an upgrade to pathfinding, or just collision recognition?
It's a collision thing. The thing is, it's something I did long time before. When the player would get far enough from the asteroids would become non-kinematic, which means they would not be affected by physics anymore. So they would just stay there, and it don't get pushed or moved around. So when the big ships would try to fly, they just ignore asteroids. But when they just trying to fly to those standing, those fixed asteroids, it was causing all the sort of mess. So now it's not working. It's not working anymore like that. The asteroids are still being affected by physics. So the ships will just ram it through the asteroid fields now, which will be
cool.
Yeah, which will solve the issue.
Also, a few people do ask. I know you've talked about it before, but as far as fleet ship formations.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a bit more complicated for now. I plan on
the more direct controls and things like that.
Yeah, I plan on improving that, but it's not. I don't have a ETA on that, but yeah, it makes sense, because the only one formation is not. Well, fleet mechanics can go.
You can kind of manipulate their formation a little bit. You can manipulate it manually just by your own positioning, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not in a way that I can really describe in a lot of detail. It's more of just letting my subconscious kind of take the wheel and be like, if I kind of slide this way a little bit, then they'll turn a little bit, and just it's not like a formula that I could spit out or anything. But I've noticed that you can kind of manipulate their formation a little bit just by your own positioning, but you have to be pretty. I personally have to be pretty observant. It might be easy for some people, but there are ways to kind of and sometimes it's just brute force. You just shove one of them out of the way towards the other one so they stay close together. It's like, no, tight formation, and you just kind of shoulder check them.
Yeah. WeaverSong, I have to go, but it's been fun. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Weaver, and thank you for everything also.
Take care.
Let me check. Oh, Kent is going. So, okay. Thank you. See you later, man. Thank you for joining us.
See you later.
And thank you, Dragon. Thank you, Seasage. Thank you, Sleepy Zarinthal. Thank you, Thraknar.
Very well.
Thank you, Nova. Thank you, everyone who joined it. I will be back here eventually. Like I don't know if in 1 or 2 weeks, but yeah, for probably when we start doing the next beta. Most of the changes will not be public, so I would probably do occasional devlog streaming, so to show things around. But yeah, so for this one, it's 3 hours, over 3 hours already. So thank you, everyone. I'm back on YouTube. Let's see if you have any more questions here. Thank you again, guys. I really enjoyed hearing all this and has made me excited for the future of Star Valor. Okay, cool. Thank you, Teletesh. Thanks for joining in, everyone. Wrapping up this now. Let me. Okay, I'm getting out of the. Okay, out of the Discord chat, and I think that's it. See you later, everyone, on next devlog, and keep enjoying the game and keep following my YouTube channel, our Discord, and the Steam forums and everything. So have fun with the game and have a good week. And see you next devlog. Bye.